You know I'm gonna start. That's what I do.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Is Scar like already done with the podcast?
He's over us.
Nah, he good.
I'm pulling up the stream. Like, nigga, what the fuck you think? Like, what is
So sassy today, damn dude.
I had a shit day at work. Like
It's Monday. I feel you.
Mondays are normally bad. Like at work, Mondays are normally bad. But this Monday we were short staffed.
Okay.
And one of the office staff had to go out, had to basically go outside and actually go do a job because we didn't have enough guys to actually do to go. I work for a moving company, so but I work in the office. So yeah, one of the office staff had to go, and with one less person in the office on Monday. This shit was like just ridiculous. Like I felt like I couldn't even breathe. I felt like I couldn't even breathe until lunchtime.
I'm ready for the sass today. It's earned today. It's gonna be good.
It's Monday. Fuck Monday. It's like I didn't even get my normal like after lunch everything's kind of cool Mondays. Like that's usually how it is. Like after lunch everything's kind of cool. Like you can catch up on some shit you didn't get done in the morning. But nope, not today. Because we were short staffed and everybody complaining. Had one of the trucks had a tire blown out. Like it's just all fucked up today. What are you doing? You're trying
to fix his focus.
Focus. Yeah.
Y'all are a mess. Y'all are a mess.
Yep. Already.
I hear body rolls work best. Just
That's where we at today.
Already.
Oh boy, I'm a stretch.
I mean, y'all out here thinking that I got on a salmon shirt and shit. Like, no, the shirt, the light.
You gotta do something about your lighting, my dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just.
Like, this shit is really bright, and it's pointed that way. Like, this shit is just that bright. Like,
unbelievable.
I can get some.
Like, see, if I turn it off, like, it just. Now
it just looks darker salmon, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
It's just in the shade.
The shirt is red and white. It looks like a bunch of red and white dots. But like, you know, for those who don't have fully formed eyeballs, those. I mean, those two already have glasses on.
I mean,
yeah, that's true. They do. I'm not wearing mine. I gave up.
You're not wearing yours. See,
I only need mine for reading, dude. I'm not that old. Give me a minute.
And I only have the only reason I'm having is because I have astigmatism. My vision is 2015. I just came from the optometrist last week. I'm 2015.
You got that in writing? Because we're about to make fun of you.
I do have my prescription. I'm 2015, yo.
I don't believe you.
Astigmatism is the only thing that holds me back.
I'm in 2015. I don't even know what I am. I don't even know what I am. All I know is I can read the chart, the whole chart.
All right, then you're all right.
Well, why don't you read? Why don't you? Just like, hey, can you read this line? Well,
yeah,
I can read 2 lines down. How about I make this? How about I make this easier on you? I'll read 2 lines down.
Let's speed this along.
Let's speed this up.
Yeah, let's work. I got perfect vision. Let's do this. All right, so you want to announce the show? You want to start the show this time, Chase?
Sure. What's up, motherfuckers? We're Scarcasm.
This is why
you're supposed to do it.
This is why I took it back from Chase. This is exactly why I took it back.
Scar. This right here. It's
nice.
Why he can't have nothing.
Someone named Connor Crafton said hello to you.
That's my cousin. What's up, dude?
That's your. What up, cuzzo? I see you, dog.
That's love right there.
Chat.
Yeah.
He's gonna watch this shit show.
I didn't get that in my chat. Damn.
Okay, y'all in chat out there. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. You're out here today.
I need to get the chat open now since my cousin's here. You know.
How do you get the chat open in this thing?
Oh, it's Lord. Not here. It's the
Twitch chat.
The Twitch chat.
It's the Twitch chat.
I normally bring it up on my phone and then click chat only, and then just bring set the chat on there.
Nah, no worries. Let me pull this widget. I don't need that streaming while we doing this.
You're clipping a little bit, Blue.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be. Should be all right. I don't know why. But why am I clipping? That's weird.
Because you got the mic in your mouth, man.
Nah, man. There it is. It's back. You know what? Let me turn my audio back.
Yeah.
Let me turn my mic audio down.
This motherfucker just said you be out here rocking the mic, dog.
Hey, no, come on, son. You know me better than that.
He just said you out here rocking the mic. I don't think you should take that shit. I don't think you should take that at all. I think you should light Chase ass up. He just said that you was rocking the mic out here.
Oh Lord, this is what we doing today? This is how this is gonna go.
This is how we
start. You're gonna embarrass me in front of my family?
It's just a microphone, man.
And 2 turntables and a microphone. And
I mean, the only problematic thing about putting the mic in your mouth is, COVID. But it's totally cool, man. You do what you want.
Man, it's his mic. He can put it in his mouth if he wants to.
Hey man, I was always taught. I was always taught. You got to get up in there, because otherwise the true tone don't come out. So
I'm so glad you finished that sentence the way that you did, because I was like, it's Monday. Are we gonna do this? Are we gonna just pop this all the way off?
Yeah, we're talking about my man rocking his own mic at this point. So you know what I mean, like. Okay, let me ask you a question. If you rock your own mic, is it gay?
I do not rock my own mic,
Lord,
man.
No, we're not doing this.
Son. Come on, son. Take your salmon shirt and
so. It's not salmon. It's red and white, sir.
It looks salmon.
All right, y'all. How many people in the chat can say they see salmon, or do they see red and white polka dots?
I mean, it's the light.
Is this the new dress?
It's not salmon.
Is this the new blue and white dress? God,
I don't know what it is, man.
It's salmon.
You know what? It looks salmon. You know what? It'll be salmon today for y'all.
Okay. Because
y'all know no better. Y'all know no better. It's all right. All y'all wear glasses. Right. It's 7
But my color correction is on point, though.
All y'all.
You're doing one of these?
All y'all.
Yeah, do it.
All y'all wear glasses.
All right.
Early.
Everybody wear glasses? Everybody?
One of y'all.
Everybody wearing glasses.
Everybody in the club.
I was thinking that song.
I was trying to think of the
jukebox, but I let it go. I haven't
heard that song in a long time. He was a one-hit wonder with that joint.
Yes.
Yeah, because we've never heard of that dude ever again. Wasn't it
K1? Was it K1? Is that right?
It's Jaquan.
Jaquan. Okay.
You had him backwards.
I had him backwards because he did one song, and it was a good song.
Right. Well, I mean, well, good. I mean, let's describe good. Let's get into the good.
No, hold on.
It's the kind of good that it's like an earworm, right? You can't let it go.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But let's be honest. Like, all you need to do is make a good two-stepping song. Like you can get to two-step. It's slow enough. It's not too fast.
It's true.
You can kind of get, if you're dancing with your lady, you can kind of get a little close and be like, "Hey, everybody in the club getting tipsy."
That's like, the DJ run that back one more time because everybody's drunk song. Like it works.
That's what that is. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Because there's no other way you can enjoy the lyrics unless you're drunk. Because this dude is literally counting up from 1. Here comes the 1 to the 2 to the 3, and then it was 4 to the 5 to the 6. I'm like, okay.
He passed kindergarten.
The first rap that ever happened.
But he doesn't even switch languages. You know how you get uno, dos, 3, 4.
Right.
He doesn't even do that. He can't even do that.
No Spanglish in his numerical order at all.
He do the Janet Jackson switch.
Right. Then he did. This is why he only had one song. Because all he counted. He's done.
Exactly. Yes, that's it. I mean, even though we have infinite numbers, apparently he does not have infinite skill.
We should just give the Sesame Street count a rap joint. He'd do a good job. He can count higher than 6. He'd be all right.
Is he gonna do it like the count though? Is he?
No. But you know the pinball joint. The
Yeah.
pinball joint, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do you know that was the Pointer Sisters?
Wait, really?
That's actual Pointer Sisters that actually recorded that, and they said that they were in a session, and the session took all day because they had to do that over and over.
Oh, can you imagine? I would lose my damn mind.
Oh man,
I
I'd
would
hate that
die.
song when I was done. I would hate that song.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's how you hate a song. Yeah.
Yeah.
You either become a wedding DJ or you sit in the booth all day. Wedding DJ, I'll hate those songs too.
Oh, for
They
sure.
hate 'em.
For sure.
And then if you want to catch
Can't do
the
the Charlie
melody,
Hustle anytime soon.
if you want to catch the melody in another song, Jill Scott actually has that melody of the pinball number counting in a song.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I'm learning things I didn't need to know today.
No,
That's what's happening right now. It always happens when I'm on the show. I learn something I don't need to know, and then I never forget it ever because that's what happens.
Right.
Well, yeah, you do realize if you're going to be if you can handle it as a musician or not. is if the first time you go into a studio or like it's sort of or a recording session, because that shit sucks.
Oh yeah, over and over all day long.
Yeah, it does.
All day long. Or a singer, same lyrics. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, Jill Scott, have you ever heard the song "Getting in the Way"? Getting in the way.
Yeah.
What I'm feeling. Did you realize that the "You Better Back Down Before You Get Smacked Down, You Better Chill" is the exact same melody as the pinball number counting song?
No. Now I'm gonna go down a YouTube rabbit hole for this tonight. You didn't even. I already haven't told you.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You better back down before you get smacked down.
Oh my God.
Chill.
This is the kind of crap that will keep me up for a week. I'm not gonna sleep again because of you. It's just gonna play.
Mike J sent me a message and he was like, "Damn, I listened to the show and now I can't stop listening to Michael Jackson," because we had a conversation about Michael Jackson and his music and how Off the Wall is like the greatest album he's ever made. Yeah. Because once you get old enough, you realize that Thriller ain't all that, especially because it has fucking Paul McCartney on there and fuck that guy. All of the songs he's on with Michael Jackson just kind of suck. Like, you know what I mean?
Come on, man.
Come
on, man. Listen.
There's only one that's okay.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Thriller did, for all intents and purposes, have the best videos than Off the Wall. Like, come on, man. You had Smooth Criminal. You had Beat It.
That's not on Thriller. Thriller was a real good video. Thriller is up there for me. Yeah.
You're thinking of Billie Jean, not
Smooth Criminal was on Bad, ain't it?
Billie Jean, Beat It. Bad.
Bad is Come on, man. It's on Bad. It's on. The album is called Bad. It's the title track.
My bad. You're right. Different. Let me pull it up.
Oh,
but I can say pound for pound, the videos from what the album with Thriller are better than the videos from Off the Wall. But Off the Wall is a far superior album. I completely agree.
Yeah, I mean, okay, let's be honest. Like, Off the Wall, like the Rock With You video, like you need to do nothing. The song is so good.
That's fair.
Yeah, the song, like I said,
stand this nigga up in front of some lasers and let him do his thing.
I mean, though. I mean, yeah, it's true. Yeah, he just needs some smoke machines and some lasers. It's true. He doesn't need it.
Just let him do his thing. Like, you don't need none of that. Put him in some spaceman boots and a ride through.
But also, like, it's 2021. Who's putting on music videos anyway? Why are we even having this conversation? Don't you just put that jam on Spotify and let it play in your house now?
Pretty much.
What are we doing?
I use YouTube Music.
I use that one sometimes too.
If it does have a video, if you're actually paying attention, sometimes it will play the video instead of playing just the song. Yeah.
Spotify will do that sometimes too, and I don't hate that. But 9 times out of 10, if I'm listening to music, it's like in my car.
Spotify is normally like a GIF or something.
It's a loop.
Yeah, it's a clip. It's always a clip. Yeah. You can click in, I think, for some of the videos. I don't know. We're dating ourselves. No one cares about music videos. Am I right?
No one. Like they're like most people are like, what is a music video?
Yeah, all these kids these days, they don't understand. In my day, we had to go watch Total Request Live. Was it TRL that came on after school and we get our videos, right?
Yeah,
right?
You know what I'm saying? But see, like, here's the problem with TRL. Here's the problem with TRLs. Boy bands.
Right, and girl singles.
Boy bands, single girls, Korn and Limp Bizkit. They pretty much ran TRL.
Blink 182. Blink 182 with their bad videos. Blink 182. Yes. You know, but that was like, it was such a time and place thing, like TRL. It was like I would get home after school and there's your top 10 or whatever with Carson Daly, and you'd watch it and it'd be the same 5 people.
Right.
But you'd be like, I get to hear Backstreet's Back again and I'm happy. Yeah.
That
was a dope video, by the way.
I don't give a fuck. That was my shit.
He pulled that.
That's how you know you were in it. You were in it. That was a hot video. I love that video. Come on.
I am not ashamed of my love for the music of boy bands like the NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, 98 Degrees.
Me too.
I draw the line at Old Town.
Old Town was bad, and there was another one that was like, oh boy, they had one single, and it was 5 dudes, and it was like Fifth Something, or I don't remember. They were bad too.
Oh, that was that group. What was the hold on, was the group that Simon Cowell was behind?
Yes. I can't summon the name right now, because
what I mentioned wasn't his group. Was it?
Was called Five.
Just Five.
They had one hit.
One hit, and it was a dope hit. But it was like the hit you would hear at the bowling alley. When the lights go out, baby, when the lights go out.
That was a hit, though. When the lights go out is a hit.
That was the one they played at Midnight Bowling. When they did the midnight bowling with the neon bowling. Yeah. This is suburban problems. This is what we did. This in roller skating.
Right. And then we have lost 90% of the audience by this point.
Oh, they're all done. Or they're all old like us.
Well, your Connors talking about the music videos or asking.
They had me. Yeah. See, he's like 20-something years younger than me. He doesn't know. I don't know. Man. He's like a child. So it's not quite. He's 17 or 18 years younger than me.
No, like the idea that like you tell a young person that MTV is actually named because it was music television. Yeah, it was called music television. That's where the MTV came from. They're like, get the fuck out of here.
And then we got to the stage where we never watched music videos. We just watched Real World and Road Rules all the time on that thing.
Man,
that's all there was.
Yeah, I was never really a big Road Rules kind of guy.
Me neither. Real World though.
Real World.
Real
you know
World.
What I'm saying? Now let me tell you.
I couldn't do it, man.
Now the best one.
I know who are you gonna say with that black dude who was just mean to everybody? That skinny dude. What was it? Was he first? Was he season 1 or season?
No. You talking about the dude who got kicked off? He was in New York. No. The two best seasons of the Real World. You know what it is. Hawaii.
Drop it on me.
Hawaii?
Yeah.
In New Orleans.
New Orleans was ridiculous.
Those two were the best.
They were very drunk all the time. It was very good. They were very drunk.
They were.
And then had David doing his whack ass intro, singing "Come On Be My Baby Tonight," which is basically the same melody as "Luck Be a Lady Tonight," and acting like nobody was gonna fucking notice. So like, those 2 seasons, especially with Hawaii with Ruthie getting fucked up all the time and doing dumb shit like driving drunk and like holy fuck,
it was bad.
Like, now you say the stuff is all coming back, bro.
It's like a PTSD. You just
exactly. You're like, oh my
shit.
I forgot that intentionally for a reason.
Which one was Mike on? That actually he was pretending to be a wrestler and actually became a fucking
the Miz?
wrestler.
I watched because he became the Miz. He wanted that, and then he was on a season. Do you remember when they did the reality show like Tough Enough or something like that? He went on that show afterwards.
Yeah. He actually became a wrestler. They actually let this dude who was fucking Mike from the Real World
and then he went to Tough Enough.
And his corny ass Miz character actually became a real fucking wrestler. And I'm like, yo, y'all crazy.
He's living the dream.
Yeah, we all thought this shit was stupid. They let him win the championship at one point.
He's got millions of dollars on a big ass house now. We were all making fun of him on the Real World. One of us failed here, and it was not him.
Yeah, it was not him. Not him.
Yeah, we thought his bootleg, The Rock impression was never going to work.
Oh, he'll never make it. He's awful.
Obviously, we were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it. We got by MTV.
Right. See, here's the thing. Y'all still had MTV. So when I was in 8th grade, so that would have been 94. In 94, MTV got taken out of town. So I had absolutely zero music videos from that point on.
How did you survive?
Nothing. I had to stream a staticky ass channel radio station from Oklahoma City, which was an hour away. Right? I had to stream it, and through static, I'm like,
he had to stream the box.
Yeah.
He had to stream the box, yo.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Remember the box? It was just like you could call in and like pay to request whatever video that you wanted to watch.
Oh my
God. And you want to know something crazy about the box? The box is how Ja Rule got noticed.
No, really?
Yes.
Oh my Lord.
Ja Rule used to be in a group. It's like the Cash Money Clique or something like that. He used to.
I remember that.
So what had happened was his manager would figure out what's the most popular video on the box. And he would always pay to request the Cash Money Click video right after whatever is the most popular video.
So smart.
And by doing that, that's how he got someone to notice Ja Rule. Because who's this little dude with this voice?
He was so skinny, and he had this very specific. He has a very noticeable. You always know when Ja Rule is on a track, right? It's like there's certain rappers. He's one of those rappers. Him and DMX. You always know when it was them on a track.
And that's what I was gonna say. He was clearly inspired by DMX to have that raspiness, so he could kind of stick out, right? But he had his own. But yeah, it was a clear thing, and I always man, I didn't like him for that because when you heard him talk, it wasn't there.
Well, he was a pop rapper. Like he better. He fits better in poppy backbeats with really good singers. Like some of his best tracks have been with an excellent, female singer.
It's collabos. He ain't the one. He ain't it, right? So
actually, you say that, but when we talk about these pop collaborations, it got to the point to where he was writing those songs.
I know
he was writing those songs himself. Like a lot of those collaborations with Ashanti
was great with him,
with Mary J and J Lo and stuff like that. He wrote the whole song himself.
Yeah. Like he had this great ear for a pop hook and a pop.
Yeah.
And he wasn't DMX. He wasn't a hardcore rapper in the same way, but he knew how to make money. He printed it. He was brilliant.
Oh, for sure. He thought outside the box, man. He was like, hey, look, this is where we're going to make this money.
Yeah.
So
that's why I believe that Ja Rule is the line where rap went wrong.
Oh, is that where you're at? Where it's
he's a catalyst for sure.
No. Here's why I say this. Ja Rule was doing something different. He was taking it in a different direction. And then 50 Cent came in and brought Ja Rule back away from the pop stuff. And he tried to make himself hard on records again for the sake of battling with 50 Cent. And we lost the innovation. It's like, it's kind of like what video games are right now. Like we were heading in a good direction, and then all of a sudden it became about power. It became about peas, and then the innovation stopped. Because we don't get very many innovative games at this point. We get basically new versions of the same shit we already got. Yeah. And I think the exact same thing happened in rap music, where all of this stuff happened because where Ja Rule was going with it was innovative, and he was making something different, and the innovation stopped when that guy got stopped from doing what he seemed like he was born to do.
Yeah, it's too bad because when he got into that nonsense with 50 Cent, that's when I was disinterested because I was like, man, this is boring. We all heard this before and we've heard it better, right? We've heard these beats way better in our younger years. I was like, you guys just don't have
Jay-Z. I mean,
you don't have the chops
it's hard to get
for
better
this.
Than that. Yeah,
you just don't have the chops for this specific thing. 50 Cent doesn't have it either. He just didn't have that vibe. And
50 Cent is just a troll. He is just 100% a troll.
But he makes good club bangers when he's let to do it. You know what I mean?
And the idea that he got rich off of vitamin water. He became a rich troll who didn't need the music anymore.
Right. So he just could bait other people into his bullshit. And he made bad video games. Well, they actually weren't that bad, but we won't go there. But
we were just talking about that Blood on the Sand.
That game is still fun. Those games are good.
We talked about those last week.
The Bulletproof one's terrible, but Blood on the Sand is fantastic.
Blood on the Sand is a dope game, and it's he just started screwing around doing whatever he wanted, and he baited Ja Rule into this battle, and Ja Rule just did not make out from it. He would have been better off doing what he was doing and he came back around, but it was never the same.
Right.
Here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing. Once he got Ja Rule up out.
Hold on, time out. Elaine, are you drinking cough syrup? Is that medicine?
It's kombucha. It's okay. I'm fine. I got gut health stuff. Okay. I'm being a grown up. Calm down.
No.
It's not tussing over here. I'm not drinking.
She's like, this podcast, I'm gonna be robo tripping this motherfucker.
Just look, it was turned around and it looked like hydrogen peroxide. It looked like a brown bottle.
It does. It's true. From the back.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, never mind. My bad. Didn't mean to come out on the show. Didn't mean to throw everything on the carpet. Go ahead, Scott.
This is not the first time during this whole August that robo tripping has been mentioned. By the way.
Okay, so here's the funny thing about the whole thing with 50 Cent and Ja Rule. 50 Cent made Ja Rule fall back and engage in something that he wasn't prepared to do.
Right.
Then 50 Cent did what he was doing. It sounds like the Candy Shop where he's singing hooks and shit.
Yeah,
and all he did was like make him stop doing it, and then he was just like, yeah, I'm gonna do it now.
Right.
Yeah. And he did it with the right people.
But he did it less well.
I agree with you, but the thing is, he was back in it first, so then he got the attention. You know,
exactly.
It's if Ja Rule had stayed doing that, he probably would have made more money and gotten more recognition. Like getting baited into a rap beef in that year, that time, it's like, what are you doing, dude? Like, come on.
That means 50 Cent is the direct link to why he got roped into Firefest.
Is this your conspiracy all the way through? It's all 50's fault.
He got a straight line.
Speaking of conspiracies, I'm not a conspiracy kind of guy. Not.
Okay, but I knew there was a but here.
It's always a but.
Yeah.
I think we should pay extra special careful to the government right now. Because the internet and especially Facebook seem to be completely consumed about this milk crate stuff. Is this popping up on y'all's Facebook?
I just started seeing this nonsense on Twitter, and I'm behind. I'm behind.
I know you don't use Facebook very much, but they're having this thing where they basically make like a milk crate pyramid, and you have to try to walk over the milk crate pyramids. But people,
I did see some videos today, actually.
People seem super into this, and I'm like, this shit just came out of nowhere. All of y'all are super interested. We should probably pay attention to what the fuck the government's doing right now, because all of y'all are way too distracted by this milk crate shit that doesn't matter at all. And I think the government is going to do something really fucked up soon.
We had the blue dress, white dress argument for months on the internet. Like the internet gets infatuated with some dumb thing every month, right? Like
the cinnamon challenge,
the Tide Pods.
Yes, I mean,
I just think it's all the kids with the TikTok. That's what it is, bro.
It's kids who ain't got homework because they got too much time on their hands. Oh my gosh!
When we were kids, we got thrown out the house and we didn't have cell phones, right?
Absolutely.
Like so, in my day, rattles my cane, right? The problem is they have the phones.
My daughter, who had a cell phone at 8, cannot fathom that I didn't have my first cell phone until I was like 25.
I was
19.
I was 18 or 19. It was when I started like really driving and went to college. And it was the Nokia brick that you could play Snake on.
Me too. Hey,
word, right? Okay, there we go.
Brick. Hey, what y'all know about that? Like I said, you had to pay roaming. Like roaming was a legit charge. Oh my gosh.
You want to blow a kid's mind? Tell them that it used to cost us 10 cents per text message. Watch their heads explode. Like they were. I tried to tell my kids that because they don't have phones yet, but I was like, we used to have to pay 10 cents a text message. That's how much it cost.
Was like, oh, how can I get around without GPS if I don't know where I am? I was like, well, the road signs, like
we printed directions on MapQuest.
Even without that, you have the road signs and stuff.
It's true. We had a map. My dad had an atlas in his.
I did too.
But you might not get there as quick as
you might
want to, but you can get to the interstate and get where you are, and then you're fine. I drove way out of my way to get to the interstate, and then I'm fine.
But you have to go north, so you went north.
You went
until you found the vicinity of the thing you were supposed to be at. Then he asked a shady guy outside of a gas station, and then he got you lost because he gave you directions to make a right at like a rock that you missed.
Exactly. And
this was life.
And said, "What are you buying?"
He opens his coat.
Open his jacket. But no. So when I was traveling on my way to school, so I got my cell phone because I went to school out of state. I went to college out of state.
So did I.
So I got my cell phone so my mom could keep stay hold of me. And my uncle, he taught me. When we went to visit my school that summer before I started, we actually planned out the trip using an atlas. Yeah. So he taught me how to use an atlas. I learned how to get my directions down like that, right? And so that's good. And I was watching so number one, y'all know I love great marketing campaigns and progressives. Dr. Rick If you haven't seen his commercials about like being old, it's hilarious because he was on stage with somebody and he told him, if you printed out directions to get here tonight, you're in the right place. Like, because that's what we did. We printed out directions.
And you would give them to the passenger and you'd be like, I hope you read fast.
Right.
You're going 60 miles an hour and you're going to miss that turn.
Well, you better not go sleep on me
Read the next 3 directions to me. I need to know. It was very stressful being a navigator.
If you actually do miss the turn or whatever, then you're having to like kind of
turn the map over.
You're having to read it backwards.
Loop back around.
It
was so bad. And it's like
I'm gonna tell you, I used to have this program called Microsoft Streets.
Oh, you had Streets? You were cooler than me.
It was called Streets and Trips. At one point, it was called Streets and Trips. At one point, it was called Streets. At one point, my ex-wife got lost in New York City.
I was just going to say, the city? Oh, Lord. Like, woo boy.
That's terrible.
Now, she was leaving her parents in Massachusetts. When she got around to New York, she couldn't figure out which exit because it was raining hard.
Okay.
So she got stuck and she was like, she ended up in like Harlem or somewhere. She didn't have no idea where she was. So what I did, I literally sat down at my computer and was like, okay, here's what we do. I want you to stop and tell me which streets you're on.
The crossing. Yep.
Tell me which streets you're on.
Yep.
And then I had to figure out where she was and then plot her way because it didn't actually do it for me.
No, you had to click.
Tell her. I had to actually tell her where to turn and where to go in order to get back to the interstate. In order for her to get back to Virginia.
Like a airline navigator or something,
or like a dispatcher, ambulance dispatcher, just like, all right, look, I used to do that for friends in college when they would get lost on road trips because we would have the internet at college and we would bring up MapQuest and they would be on the phone with you like, I got lost and I don't want to die, so tell me how to get back to the highway. Like, it's like my kids could not fathom a world in which I don't just click 2 things on my phone. It knows where I am and where I need to go. And it's like that with video games. Like they cannot fathom a world where they can't just play online.
What makes it worse is like you don't even need to click anything on.
No, it just knows things.
Just be like,
take me home.
Speak it. Yeah.
Hey Google, how the fuck do I get home?
Yeah, Google, get me home, bro. Right. I just made my phone upset.
Games, it's like, cause like some older games, you're like, hey, this was an actual like thing that would happen. I would play like an older game that I haven't played in a while. I'm like, hey, I'm lost. There's no in like a Call of Duty where I'm ever lost because it's like this guy says follow.
Or like the mini map, like playing the original Metroid. There was no map. The very first and so you would have a friend who would be drawing stuff on paper, playing Navigator for you. And my kids are like, Mom, just click in on the stick, the mini map will pop up. And I'm like, bro, we did not have mini maps.
Man, that was not a thing. Saves. And on Genesis, Sega, no save, son.
Did you leave your console on? I left. No, you had passwords. I left my console on overnight for Mario 3. I remember leaving it on all night because I didn't want to restart it.
Until you realize how to get to the warp pipes.
Right, then it's good. Right. It's money. You can beat that game in 20 minutes. And you're like, why does this game cost $85?
Exactly.
Games were expensive then too.
Yeah, because it's like games too expensive now. I posted on Twitter.
Every time someone says that, I'm like, I have a screenshot somewhere that someone has of like the Toys R Us ads from like our childhood.
that's what I think.
And it's like the NES games were like $85 for Donkey Kong Country, right?
Doom was like $95. Like
I remember
for inflation, that has to be ridiculous.
Right? Can you think about
asinine?
That? It's insane. Like think about how much we paid, and we used to go and get the little tickets at the Toys R Us and bring them to the guy who we thought had the best job in the world in the little room with all the games in there with him, and he would slide it under the glass too.
Right.
And you know what? I thought that GameStop would be the greatest job in the world until I worked there.
Dude.
Working at GameStop is the absolute worst.
Like, you're just getting a bunch of moms who don't know, or dads, or people, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Like I said, when I worked, it was around the time of the 360 launch.
Oh, sorry, dude.
And like 50 Cent Blood on the Sand.
Was ridiculous.
50 Cent Blood on the Sand. That was also around the same time as the recall of San Andreas. So
the black coffee.
The second
mod.
edition.
Yeah.
The second edition was out. I still got my first edition, you know what I'm saying? For real.
I do too. Somewhere.
I still got mine. And then like for some reason that was when that 50 Cent game was selling like crazy. And it was just really it's a bunch of parents coming in and buying this shit for their kids, and I was just like, what the fuck is this?
Do you see what the box says? Don't do that. Like I remember employees trying to talk parents out of buying like their 9 and 10-year-olds GTA. Like you don't look, it's not a toy anymore. It's become something like more than a toy. You know?
We were instructed to not help them make a decision.
Wow.
But show them where the information is. So when they say, is this good for my kid? I go, okay, this is where it tells you the age range. And then it tells you why on the back.
Yeah,
you make your own decisions from there.
And most of the
time they bought it anyway.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, a hard one is adult themes, and that could be anything. Like, because like you might think, oh, my kid can play Left 4 Dead, and you're like allowing them to play Left 4 Dead because it's just zombies, it's just a little blood,
right?
You know what I mean? But then that's the M-rated game. But say like Life is Strange, which seems like a little bit not as intense as Left 4 Dead, deals with like
suicide straight up in the first hour of 2 hours of that game.
Yeah.
But like that was the only
suicide because of
Yeah, my daughter wanted to play that game. I got it for free on PlayStation Plus because I actually had PlayStation Plus at the same time.
You paid too much for it.
Yep, very much. I didn't necessarily hate it. I'm just glad I didn't have to play it. Now she played it and she wanted to, and she was a little bit younger. You know, she's 13 now, so like you know, that was the only part that I really had to explain. I was like, you can play this game, but you can't play this game if I'm not around to explain.
That's smart. I think that's it. And it's like the conversation about game ratings, because I have a 11-year-old and a 9-year-old, and I let them play stuff that's dipping into T for teen and M for mature, but I have the benefit of knowing the content of that stuff and like where I draw the line for my kids. I also have kids who like violence. They're just like, Mom, it's just a game. That's just a zombie. It's no big deal. But sexual content, I'm not cool with at this age range.
Right.
But so it's like things to where it's like violence in a way to where, like, I don't know, to where it's hard to grasp why the seemingly good guy is the bad guy.
Yes, there are nuances there that and the thing is, I have a benefit of going in most of the time knowing the content of the game, and I can sit with my kids through the difficult stuff and have conversations. There are a lot of parents who don't. Right. And most of them don't know that they'll break it down for you at esrb.org. They'll like rip, they will bullet list you. But when we were younger, that didn't exist. You couldn't easily pull it up on your phone in the store.
Before Mortal Kombat.
So, right.
It even tells you
even
like
at the
how many like F words are in the game.
It's like incredibly detailed. But like when you're selling the 360, all you had was what was on the back of the box.
Yeah, I know. The language is not something that I care about.
I don't care about language
because
I was just I call my child a fuck nigga all the time. So like this doesn't really like it should be like, why are you calling me that? Because you're acting like one fuck nigga. But but like
we there.
Look, language in my house doesn't matter. Like I'll be on the bike or exercising and I'll curse because it's terrible, and I'll have a little kid open the door and scream "mother language" and slam the door. Like it's just I'm just like that, and they just know. They also know what they're not allowed to say. But like I said, we all have this benefit of knowing.
I allow my child to cuss. I don't give a fuck. I like you say whatever the fuck you want to. At your age, do you know the kind of things I was saying around my friends? I don't.
Yeah, it was kind of bad when we were like 13 to 15.
Oh yeah.
We thought we were cool. That's why we thought we were.
I don't care if you cuss. Just don't cuss at me. Like if you cuss at me,
that's a problem.
We got problems.
Yeah, we got problems. Yeah,
if you
I don't like that either.
If you cuss like, and you let it slip because I know this. I have your login for your Google account. I know what you say around your friends.
Around your friends.
You know what I mean? So like, if you want to cuss, but she refuses to. Like, you know, she slipped a couple times, and I'm just kind of like, yo, I really don't care. And she's just, and I'm just like, you know, you feel like fuck that shit. You should totally say fuck this shit right now.
Sometimes like I said, I don't have a problem with language. I don't like it when it's directed at me. Like, but my kids won't. Like, they could probably get away with a little bit, but they won't. But like, if you're slinging it, like even if they just tell me to shut up, I'm like, oh no, you didn't. You didn't want to do that. You best walk that right back.
My child is a disrespectful little shit. Like, she is
not mine. They have fear, man.
My child
exactly.
My child is disrespectful, and she's rude, and like, I have no idea where this comes from, because like, you know, I'm loud and I'm opinionated, but
you're a little sassy.
No one will ever call me rude or disrespectful.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's just to me.
Out of all of the things, I mean, come on, Chase. No one gives a shit.
That's not rude or disrespectful at all. What are you doing?
Nah. So bogus.
I do that to Chase. Just, you know,
sometimes stuff. It's like we grew up joking like that, so we still do it, and then you know, like
for sure.
Mine.
Yeah, Chase is my podcast hetero punching bag.
I feel like you need that on a salmon-colored T-shirt.
Salmon color, or at least a salmon font. One of the two.
Salmon font on a black shirt.
I don't have another T-shirt. I have a couple of, like, you know, what you call it? Like,
your T-shirt has straps on the shoulders.
Yeah,
he's got the. I have a long sleeve like that too. Yeah. It's just, I don't know why.
I have two of these. I have a black one too. It looks gray because it's black and white, but it looks gray.
Okay.
Okay. Salmon gray. Yeah.
You pretty.
Fancy.
Fancy. I just wear black and gray because I'm like, I got black jeans on. I'm bored.
You know something? I think. Here's the thing about me. I think I would look great in purple.
Oh, dude, absolutely. Yeah, I
deep,
bet that 100%.
But I like a deep plum. Like, get a deep plum.
You're talking about that Crown Royal purple?
Crown Royal purple he could do too.
You pull that off.
Looks great. But it would take someone my age to call me Barney that would fuck that whole thing up.
Oh, dude. I'm sorry. I'm having a I need a minute. You're right. Oh, don't. Blue. I'm never going to sleep again. Come on.
I'm sorry. My bad. I hated that dude so much. Oh my goodness.
Barney was bad.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that my daughter never did the Barney.
You missed Barney.
I did.
Mine didn't do it either.
I did. We did Dora for a little bit.
We didn't do Dora.
I hate Dora the Explorer. Here's why I hate Dora the Explorer. And people who listen to the show a lot, they know this.
I already know it's funny though.
Dora the Explorer. If you ever watch Dora the Explorer, she does this weird thing, right?
Yeah.
Where she asks a question that she expects you to answer.
Sure.
And then she asks the question and then stares into your
it's not
soul
creepy at all.
until you answer the question out loud at home. It got to the point to where she would be looking, and I'm like, map. I would just say it myself because, like,
Get her away. Yeah, no, I don't like it.
We have to go to the tree, so she would stop staring at me. Like, that's how.
So funny.
I would just say it out loud myself, but like, she's like that. This shit is weird. Like, she just
the repetitive shit. It's like, we know you're the map. Okay, we know you're the map.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the map.
Okay, I'm not even gonna trip. As a person who loves music, that little upright bass, like doom doom.
Oh, you were digging that? You were feeling that part? That was acceptable?
Bass, like, I'm cool when I'm the map. You cool when I'm the map? Yeah, I'm cool when I'm the map.
So I wonder when you're talking about the stare, I wonder how many groups of people they focus tested just to figure out how long
length of time.
How long they had to wait. Because it was I guarantee you they said, okay, 5 seconds makes them uncomfortable. They were like, okay, Let's do
so
6.
make it 6. Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable every time.
They were uncomfortable at 5. Make it 6.
Make it 6. Oh yeah.
They'll buy more merchandise. There's got to be programming in that last second, right?
You go to like the Walmart or something, and like you just happen to just wear what you were wearing, and you have a stain on your shirt, and then there's that little kid who doesn't know that you should not stare at that stain on the shirt. That's how I feel.
One eye.
Yeah, it's just like
leaning in, trying to touch it.
And they reach out. It's a little kid, and they point at it. They just point at it. And you're like, look, I understand that I'm not a grown-up, and I cannot stop myself from spilling coffee on my pants. I get that. Like, I know who I am. Can you not point it out to me? I understand who I am. Child.
I love it.
Sometimes you want to be like, yeah, kid, you got banana on your shirt. What's your problem? Back off.
Right,
like, you know?
Right, exactly. Why are you pointing at me?
But other times,
plank out of your eye first.
Here's the thing. If that kid is dressed pristinely,
right,
you kind of internally fall apart. Like, stop judging me.
Stop judging me, child. He's got the sweater over the shoulders, perfect belt, nice hair. And I look like I rolled out of bed and I've got coffee down my shirt. I'm like, look, child, okay? Yes, you have your shit more together than me.
Stop judging me, Francis.
Francis, do you have salmon in your closet, Francis? That's all
he does.
Know.
He's wearing a salmon button-up. It's perfectly pressed. Come on, bro.
Is it pressed at all?
He's got the slacks with the pleats. Yeah. Oh, yeah, man, it's pressed.
The sleeves up just right, you know, all the way
to the middle. He looks like the collar's popped, his hair is spiked. He's a tiny Chad. He's a little Chad.
And as you're eating chicken tenders for lunch, he has grilled salmon.
Right, he's eating and he's got the knife and fork properly, and you got the McDonald's 20 nugget pack because you know who you are. I know who I am. Right?
You know who that is? Okay. It's Phil, son. It's Phil, son.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about Philip in a little bit, but you know, like fat people, right? I'm a fat person. Like fat people.
Do you know fat people?
I like the way you started this. Like, what am I supposed to say here?
People know that. We've actually seen people in McDonald's use the little scoop thing for the fries, to pick up the fries. We also know that that's a good way to drop off the fries if you're using one hand. So like that's one of those things that like if you're a fat person, like you know some things that most people don't know. Like it's like that little like shovel piece was perfectly great to just
shovel. That's the
I'm in the car. Hold up. I know this because I don't, I'm kind of small, but like that's how you eat the fries when you're driving. You just shoot them into your face.
No.
Free consumption method. Like that's what that is.
Skinny people put it between their lap. Don't front on me.
No, we don't. All right, those are skinny people are doing it wrong. Because I'm just like, if I do that and take the fries out, then I get grease on my steering wheel. There's a better way. Don't touch that shit.
There's always a better way.
Shoot that into your
absolutely. And those are people who aren't in a hurry too, Scar. You got to look about consumption behavior. You know what I mean? They probably don't like a lane.
Look, those people. Those are the people who don't have kids in the back who are trying to steal their French fries, though.
Exactly.
Right? Like, I don't want to share these French fries.
You went through the drive-thru. You in your motorcycle lane. Are you going? You know what I'm saying? It's a quick. It's a quick dip. You know.
So is this the practical ethics of French fries? French fry utilitarianism? Is this what we're talking about here?
I don't know.
Listen, it has to be. Look.
This is why I think McDonald's has the best fries, because they're the fries that you can do that shoot move out of the container with.
You're like, why are you putting it in the cardboard mouth? Just give me the metal thing.
No, just give me the whole. No, you need a gold-plated one because you go to that McDonald's too damn much.
Burger Kings are okay, but it's like it's more like a cup.
Agreed.
So it's not the shovel part doesn't quite get it.
Not wide enough.
Yeah, it don't. Yeah, I got a big mouth, though. I need you to, you know what I mean? I need you to spread this thing out a little bit. You know what I mean?
You need to do the bend at the bottom too, where you squeeze it a little bit to get the little pieces to go together. Look, you think I don't know? I know the move. All right, I'm a savage. I'm not an adult.
Listen. Well, if you've known anything about Elaine, she is more or less like. I don't know how to put it, like a matriarch of consumption. Like that's what she does, man. Like that's what Elaine does.
It's true.
Just call her fat adjacent. She's fat adjacent. That's what we're gonna call it.
I just get away with it and stay skinny because I over exercise to compensate. But I eat I eat a lot of freaking food. Like I'm just one of those people.
That is the show title. Fat adjacent.
Fat adjacent.
There you go. Love it.
Look, man, like I'm the person who buys a pint of Ben and Jerry's and I don't scoop that crap into a bowl. I sit down with the pint and a spoon.
There you go.
Like, what are you doing making dirty ass?
You have a long conversation with the pint.
Yeah,
that's
it. You do that with a pint. Like that makes no
sense.
Well,
there are normal people who observe a serving size.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm not gonna. It's in a serving size. That is a serving.
I said that is a ice cream. That is a serving size. A pint of ice cream. Like
that's a serving.
That's like people. That's like people who eat like a certain amount of Oreos.
Oh, who counts Oreos?
Or Oreos?
I sit Oreos with the package.
I eat Oreos by the line.
That's how you do an Oreo. Yeah. It's like I did a row of Oreos.
I do a row at a time.
I do a row.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you eat a row, right?
Right.
And then after that row is finished, then you pause for a second, reevaluate your life, and decide whether the other rows are going to go now.
No, what happens is you look at the glass of milk that you poured and you said, how much is left here? Do I have one row left? Do I have two? Like, you don't do the milk? I do the milk.
Yeah, we're lactose intolerant, so
I started getting lactate, man. It's
just take the lactate. Suck it.
It's pretty awesome, man.
All the time. It doesn't work all the time.
Yeah, but it don't work all the time. But like, what's cool about it is I figured out that I think the lactose is what makes milk be like a super fresh thing to where it's going to go bad in like a week. You know what I mean? Mm. But the lactate I got is dated for like October.
Yeah, no, it's preserved. But wait, do you just eat Oreos without a beverage? Because they'll dry your whole system out. Like
exactly. Like
I do it like a savage.
Works in there, B. Like
you do like a coffee. What you eating those Oreos? All right, orange soda. Did you just say orange soda?
You dip Oreos in orange soda?
No, he doesn't dip them. He chases it, man. I hope.
I hope.
What? It's a chase. I was gonna say like root beer, cream soda, but orange.
Okay, orange. Here's the thing. I'm already violating the rules because I'm diabetic. So
you just go all in.
We can mix the cream soda and the orange soda.
When you have diet soda, they don't make very many different flavors in diet sodas.
You're right.
Okay.
Right.
And you got to go to specific places to get the orange.
You're right.
But you got to go. You got to go to food. You got to go to the food line. You can't go to the Walmart.
No. You can't get Diet Sunkist at the Walmart. No.
We say the Walmart. You know we get no.
The Walmart. I'm doing it on purpose.
You can't get a diet root beer. Can't get a diet A&W there. Or do you not like root beer? That's a different conversation.
Sometimes I'm not a huge root beer guy.
Okay, me neither.
I am a cream soda person.
You can mix. That's what I'm saying. Mix the orange soda with the cream soda and make a creamsicle.
No.
Just full stuff. Okay, but wait. We have a more important discussion here. Regular chocolate Oreos or the vanilla Oreos?
Vanilla Oreo, please.
Nah, dog.
Are you chocolate?
The only time you do vanillas, there's 2 times you do the vanillas.
Let me hear this.
Okay.
For the lemons.
Lemon good.
Lemon is good.
Lemons, bro. The lemons.
Yeah, lemons is real good.
For the lemons, and sometimes depending on how you feel, birthday cake. The vanilla birthday cake.
The cake's real sweet though.
The cake is real sweet. Like
you do a single line of the cake. You can't do multiple rows of those cake Oreos. You'll die. It'll take you right off.
I can't even do a line at a time. I can't do a row at a time.
So yeah, birthday cake Oreos have cocaine rules.
My spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, birthday cake Oreos do have cocaine rules. That is 100%.
So now you know they got carrot cake Oreos too.
Those are good.
No,
I like those. I like.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. The mint chocolate ones that are fudge covered in the fridge are my favorite. Like those are amazing. You put those in the fridge, they get cold.
Those are cool. It's not really my jam.
No mint for you.
Just give me some regular old
straight standard or double stuff. Don't at me with these single stuffed Oreos. Double stuff.
Right. Yeah. Come on, man.
My daughter one time bought the thins, and I said, "What the fuck are you doing, child?"
That's like. Get out!
I call
that's like coming to your house with a middle finger, not even saying hello.
She is disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
Because that's like, see, there's no point in that because like there's eating healthy, and then there's eating unhealthy dumbly. Like it's not.
Right.
See, my daughter
thin Oreo is not.
Like, she likes buying. She'll buy some soda, right? But she always wants to buy like the little cans, like
those little
cans.
like the 6 ounce, 4 ounce cans.
Yeah, like and it's like they cost more than the big ones. They cost more than the one.
Right.
Like the regular size. Why would you buy these? It makes no sense for you to buy this when it costs more than something half the fucking size, child.
Like look. Like to Chase's point, like if you're gonna eat Oreos, right, and you're not gonna eat a nice cookie, and you're gonna eat Oreos, you're doing that at 11 p.m. in your underwear in a dark kitchen. Like they just double stuff. Like just disrespect yourself the whole way through. Like what are you doing? You know?
Gosh, like, I don't understand.
Because if you get little candy bars, you're just gonna eat more of them.
I know, and I have to unwrap them.
Yes.
I'm not gonna just give me the king size. Let's just do this thing, right? Like,
I ain't done the king size bars in years. That's all it's been.
I don't want to do king size. I don't want to do king size because they switched out a lot of the king size, right?
You're right.
See, here's what they do, and then they make the ones where it's 2 of them.
2 bars in the package.
2 bars,
But if you compare it to a normal size bar, they're not the same size as a normal size.
No, it's not
bar.
too. It's smaller.
So like if you spend $179 or whatever on this one with the double pack, but if you just spend the regular $2 on two,
because there'll be 2 for $1 at the 7-Eleven. You get 2 regular size ones for $1. It's a better deal.
You know what I'm saying? It's a better deal, and you get more of the stuff that you probably shouldn't have.
And you can mix and match. You can get a Snickers and a Milky Way. You can live your best damn life.
You're right.
Why would anyone do that?
I like Milky Way better than Snickers.
Well, this brings up a topic.
I gotta get the East Coast spirit in you. I don't know.
Chase.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chase, don't change the subject just yet.
No, I'm not changing the subject. This is this subject.
No, but no. She just said something.
I just said a thing that is the most contentious thing I probably said on the internet. People are going to be adding me on Twitter for weeks. I don't love Snickers is fine. I prefer a Milky Way.
So is it all Snickers, or is like certain kinds of Snickers, like
the almond Snickers? Is the best,
really? I prefer a standard Snickers to all the other flavors, but I'm gonna tell you something. The dark chocolate Milky Way is better than all of them. Dark chocolate coated Milky Way is better than all of them.
My coworker will agree with you, except for he changes it slightly.
What does he pick?
Loves the sea salt and caramel Milky Ways.
I haven't. That one's pretty good. He's got good taste. It's pretty good.
He loves them. And I'm not about that life. Like there is nothing better. There's no candy bar better than the regular ass Snickers.
That's my husband's opinion.
Other than almonds, if I have a choice, I'm gonna roll with that almonds. Now I have one time. I've never seen these ever again. I went to like CVS or some shit like that. They had a multi-nut Snickers.
What?
And that motherfucker.
All right. I'm willing to, but I'm also going to say the peanut butter Snickers. They come in square sizes when they're fun size. I prefer those to most. A regular ass Snickers is still a very good Snickers, but I'm just always going to pick a Milky Way. I'm going to
fall in and say this. I agree with your rationale, but only because. One, Snickers is much softer. I'm sorry. Milky Way is softer to consume, right?
Like the texture. Yeah.
Exactly, the texture. But secondly, when you think about it, like theoretically, Milky Way is like mostly nougat, which is like the good part.
And there's more caramel. Here's my thing.
I have to direct this this statement to everyone instead of directing it directly to Elaine.
Oh no!
You gotta have these nuts though. Like, what is wrong with you?
So here's my thing. Here's one of my other reasons. I prefer to put a candy bar like that in either the fridge or the freezer. And you'll lose a damn filling on a Snickers that goes in cold. You will. And the Milky Way maintains a pretty, they're better when they're
I think anything with caramel in the refrigerator, the caramel gets fucked up because it gets too hard.
Those peanuts get so hard when they're cold.
The peanuts are like ice, man. It's worse than ice, really.
It'll hurt. I just like this. It's a texture thing. I like a Snickers. I'm just always going to pick a Milky Way, and I prefer a dark chocolate Milky Way because otherwise, I actually think Milky Way is borderline too sweet without the bitterness.
Right. Because you have all the sugar and the rest of it to balance it out. So that's what makes sense.
I don't like a dark chocolate anything.
Really? Nothing.
I don't like the dark chocolate. No
dark chocolate.
I mean, let's think about it, Scar. You being you don't like dark chocolate. Come on, son.
There's enough already here, dog.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was going to happen. And I couldn't stop it.
I mean,
because I just couldn't.
I mean, but dark.
I don't like that. I can't stand that aftertaste.
You don't like the bitterness. See, I drink a lot of coffee without sweetener in it. Like I like that. Yeah,
I don't drink coffee because I don't like the smell of coffee. So.
Oh my God Almighty! What did you just?
I don't mind the smell of coffee. I just don't like it on other people's breath. Like to me.
Okay, I mean yes.
That's middle finger territory. Like
well,
that's when you walk outside the parking lot.
Well, that's most things. It's like I like hot dogs.
I like to smell like Doritos on people's breath.
No.
Like, is there anything that you like on people's breath other than like maybe spearmint?
Mint.
There is no worse breath than I gotta have my coffee and cigarettes first thing in the morning.
Oh, the cigarette combo? Yes. Absolutely. That's a lot.
You're right.
They smell like, especially if it's the menthol cigarettes.
No. It's Mr. Regular Marlboro guy.
Oh, with the unfiltered Camels that my grandfather used to drink.
Yes, it's that no menthol guy. No menthol, and I don't want a whole bunch of sugar in my coffee, guy.
Black coffee and cigarettes. That smell is
that's tough.
Every engineering lab across the country in grad school, and it's
I feel bad for you.
It's rough. It can be rough.
Bad. Oh my goodness.
It can be rough.
That's why I walk around with a pack of extra. Like I always have a pack of extra in my pocket, man.
Especially now that I got a mask on at my desk, I don't want to smell my own breath.
Exactly. Just like I told that to my dentist. They were like, "Well, why don't you want to smell?" I'm like, "Well, when was the last time you smelled your own breath, sir,
is that fun
ma'am?"
for you?
Like, I mean, I'm just saying.
So is it gum or mints? Which do we prefer
mint
here?
Gum.
I prefer mints that you suck on as opposed to chewing gum. I don't like to chew gum.
I used to do that a lot because I grew up with my grandparents. You know how the joke that I always got a Werther's original in their purse or peppermint in their purse.
But it was like
real. That was real.
Lifesavers, the mint ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I just want to get it over with. So I just like if I'm going to do something that's going to the purpose of the mint is just to kill the breath or kill whatever I'm tasting in my mouth. So I'm just gonna go with the Altoids. They don't taste great. That's the point.
Right. They'll wipe it out though.
Yeah,
they strong, boy.
Do you guys remember the Listerine strips that you would put on your tongue?
Oh yeah, got some in the drawer right now.
Oh no, they still make
some in the drawer right. Oh yeah. Yes. You want to talk about heat on your tongue?
You had to get the cinnamon ones. Anything other than the cinnamon ones.
Oh, the cinnamon ones hurt.
The cinnamon, anything other than the cinnamon ones is like, why did I do this to myself?
Yeah, it's like drinking mouthwash because you are in that moment.
I got one even better for you guys. So my grandfather, he always used to have these mint drops that you could put in your mouth.
I remember those.
This stuff is straight.
Oh, the like.
Oh my gosh.
Because when you're a child, you don't realize that you're supposed to use that sparingly.
Right.
You just squeeze the whole dropper and your face feels like it's gonna explode.
And it's just like.
Were you talking about the little LSD strips too? Remember, you just like put it on your tongue.
That was the Listerine ones. That was the ones that I used to talk. Yeah. And they would, if you accidentally got them stuck to the roof of your mouth, it felt like it was just gonna chew a hole straight through your face. Like,
absolutely.
Yes. So bad.
Yeah, I put them under my tongue.
Yeah, I would put them. Just hope they would stay on my tongue. They were brutal, but they were invented in like that late '90s when we were all teenagers going on dates.
But yeah, I would put it under my tongue, and then
oh my god, you're a monster! Why do you hate yourself?
That seemed to work better than getting it on your top of your mouth.
It burns.
It does burn, and that under the tongue area is sensitive. Man.
When I was a kid, people used to see how many Altoids they could eat at once. That was the dumbass thing the teenagers did when I was a child. I'm like, why do you hate yourself?
And now that I'm old, I'm just like, man, these things ain't shit. Like, I'm
our taste buds are all slowly dying because we killed them all.
Yeah, I had a warhead not too like a couple of years ago, and I was like, man, this ain't shit. I remember
they would hurt. And I'm just like, I've killed so many taste buds with all of that strong ass coffee. That's what I did. That's what I've done. Oh no. My dad used to talk when I was a kid about how things don't taste the same as he got older, and I thought he was just like dramatic. That's true. That's just straight up true.
Yeah, taste buds change every 7 years.
How do you know that information?
Because I had to do that to convince my oldest son that hey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so once I actually looked up the fact, I was like, that's true, right?
And
he was like, it's right.
with your skin cells also, like every 7 years, you're basically a whole new person.
Right, we shed consistently and slowly. We're not like snakes.
God, people are gross. Humans are disgusting. Vacuum your houses more. There's skin everywhere.
Everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Oh,
Wash your damn sheets, people.
Like, hey, when was the last time y'all people changed your air filter? Change your air filter.
Oh, we do that every 3 months, bro.
Me too. I keep mine on the calendar.
Humans are nasty. Yeah, we're nasty people. I have friends who are like, oh, I wash my sheets once a month. I'm like, no.
No, get up out of here with that. Man, my grandma would cuss you out.
Yeah.
Man, every Saturday, if you didn't get up by 9 a.m.
They pull the sheet off under you.
Oh, no, she wasn't pulling no sheets. She had a little 2x4 that she used to push clothes down in the laundry. Yeah, that gets you up real quick. That gets you up real quick.
My mom would basically like pull the sheets off the bed with you still in it if your butt was still in bed Sunday morning and she was doing laundry.
Yeah, that's what my stepmom would do that. Like when she would wake us up for school and we didn't want to get up, we'd just be like, she'll tell us to get up.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know,
we just got the sheets pulled off, and then the vacuuming started because I have an Italian American family, and they just vacuum all the damn time. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, mother. Why are you running? She'll just run the vacuum into your door over and over till your ass is up. I'm up.
Okay, you win. Fine. I'll start on the trash. Don't worry about it.
Like I'll do whatever you want. Just please make that stop. Yeah.
Right.
That was my childhood. But the sheets got changed.
Probably thinking, man, I need to pray for my cousin. That's what he's thinking. It's like, I didn't know she had it so rough.
Oh my God. Oh, so we've hit rap music. That's on par. Mm-hmm. Candy with arguments from me.
Right.
The proper way to eat French fries, and now what woke us up on Sunday mornings. That's good. This is about what I expected.
Exactly. It's kind of what you get when you come here.
That's what I get. I love my yearly visit.
I mean, that's a normal gaming podcast, right?
Right, that's all the ones I've been on. I don't know.
Now, I have not actually played very much. I've watched a lot though. I've been watching this guy called City Planner Plays, and he plays a lot of City Skylines.
I would have never guessed.
I realized, Blue, you would find this to be hilarious. About halfway through watching his playthrough of Verde Beach. I realized his name is Phil. He's fucking Philip.
That sounds right.
Oh,
that sounds right. So, have we initiated the audience on who Phil is?
Yeah, come on. I need this broken down for me.
Okay, so
help me out, gentlemen.
When we did Facetious, Scar and I would always talk about coworkers. So, in order to protect the innocent, we would name ridiculous coworkers Phil or Phyllis.
Okay.
So the Phil is the dude who's always the one who has that extra question at the end of the meeting to make the meeting last longer.
Here's the thing. It's not funny if you just call him Phil.
Right.
You have to call him Philip.
Like,
that's like getting middle named by your mom. That's right. We mad when you get Philip.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to say Philip. So this dude is Philip, yo, for real. And I'm like, yo, I don't know if I could keep watching this.
And then 6 hours later, you're like, why am I still watching this?
Did that turn you off all the way for real? Like, you like, I don't think I can.
No, okay, I really enjoy this, because, he explains, how different the game is from, how you plan a city in real life.
He knows this stuff. Like, this is like what he does.
He is an actual city planner.
Oh, that's dope, actually.
His Verde Beach playthrough is a little bit different because he's constrained by the rules of the game because there are no mods. He has all of the DLC, but there's no mods. So he has to kind of work around what the game actually offers him. In order to make the city what it is, and changing densities and policies and all of that kind of stuff, he would be like, okay, so I have to do this. This would not happen in real life because
that's cool though.
Because the conversation that would need to happen about us taking this land to run this to run this this road through here would probably be he does a lot of that.
This exit ramp through here or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing, though. I watch people play games like this all the time, like tycoon games and strategy games and stuff like that. They all have their weird kinks. Most of their weird kinks is symmetry.
Oh, I'm like that. That's me. Hello, yes, I'm very type A.
if it's not perfect, it drives them crazy.
We get upset.
And then others, it's decorations. Like they have to decorate. We have to make this look beautiful. And his thing is trees. He calls it landscaping. He has to put trees everywhere that there is some space. Anywhere that there's space, there has to be trees. There has to be landscaping. And it's like the weirdest fucking thing ever. It's just like, bruh, like let's go.
If anybody listening wants to know what working with architects when you're an engineer is like that. They're like, we have to make it pretty. And I'm like, but I can't do anything with it now. They're like, but you can't put things on our ceiling because it's not. That's what my life is like. Except
every time I hear about symmetry, I always think BioShock. Just symmetry, my darling. Yeah.
Oh, wow. But I'm weird like that. Like when I build things or even when I hang like artwork, it has to be centered and the same on both. I'm ridiculous like that. Like it's a very type A engineer, like everything has to be just thing.
It doesn't have to be like, and there was this thing where it was like things that Virgos hate. And things that make Virgos happy. And they were like everything being clean and all of this other stuff. And I'm just like, I don't necessarily need it to be clean. I just need it to be orderly. Like I have to know exactly where it is.
Okay.
If I want to find it. Like I don't necessarily need it to be clean because there's a lot of times where I'll just kind of like leave some dishes in the sink and stuff like that. And I'm perfectly fucking fine with myself. But if I go to find a dish and I don't know where it is,
then you're upset? That upsets you?
That upsets me. I can't stand it. And then they said some bullshit. Here's some bullshit that they said.
Oh boy.
And anybody who's a Virgo can probably attest to this. It's Virgo season now, so shout out to my people. They said that we like surprises.
Do you? I don't.
The opposite. 100%.
I'm an Aquarius and I don't like surprises.
I hate surprises.
Same.
I fucking hate surprises.
Y'all are just party poopers, man.
We are. When someone says, I got you something, I'll show you when I get home. I'm like, I don't like it. I'm uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable. I don't like it.
Even if it's peanut butter, fudge, Oreos.
I mean, that's different. Then I'm
Virgos are all about their plans. Like, we make plans of everything. So, like, my day is pretty much planned out. From the moment I wake up, I know exactly how my day should go. Any deviation from that plan drives me up the wall. And
I'm like you.
My last 2 relationships have been with Libras, and Libras are messy. They're messy people. And, like, a Libra will just say, oh, I need to go to the store right now. It's like, no. We did not set aside time
you're that bad.
To go to the store today. No one said anything about going to the fucking store today. So I need you to be clear. Is this something that we absolutely have to do because we did not plan for this?
Oh, you need that penciled in for tomorrow. You need that to go tomorrow.
Yes. My ex-girlfriend got mad at me once. Because, and this tells you how bad I am with this.
Okay.
She told me that she needed to go to an urgent care. She was having some sort of an issue. She needed to go to an urgent care. And that was perfectly fine with me. At the last minute, she told me she wanted me to go with her.
And that upset you? That was it? That was the line in the sand? Wow, dude.
That upset me greatly. Okay. Now I've gotten better about this. Better about this. But that day, it caused such an uproar that she decided not to go.
My dude.
And while she was leaving at a stop, in order to try to make her stop and reevaluate the situation, at a stop sign, I got out of the car because I'm like, okay, you're not going to leave me here. So you can still be here to go do what you need to do.
Oh, honey. Oh, no.
And apparently, I ended up having to take an Uber home. But
I don't blame her on this.
I'm already upset I got to be here. So we might as well do the thing that you brought me here to do.
Oh my God. I don't mind spontaneity from other people. I will just never initiate it, but I don't like surprises. Like if someone was to throw me a surprise birthday party, I would not enjoy that. That does not make me happy. Like I do not enjoy those things. But I don't mind if someone else is like, let's just go to the store. I'm okay with stuff like that. So
I was asking because you said like someone said, oh, I have something waiting when you get home, and then you're thinking about it all day, or you just get home and they don't even tell you, and then here's something.
So that's different. Yeah. It's when they pop it on me and like make me think about it all day. Like, or when my least favorite is, I want to talk about something when I get home. My anxiety cannot handle that.
I don't like
just give me a bin to put it in. Bad thing, good thing. Normal everyday. Yeah. I need a bin. Otherwise, I'm just gonna stress all damn day about that. What are you doing?
That's so funny. So, we've been. I guess where I work at now, I've been doing these personality tests forever, Elaine, right? And so I know I'm an extrovert. If we're doing the colors, I'm a blue with some orange in there. But also, I have like I was almost an engineer, so I have some green and some gold too, right? But yeah, I can hear Scar. He is just like, listen, he is one of them golds. Look, listen, if you get outside of this organized lane, pre-designated lane that I've set up, we're gonna have a problem.
I'm upset.
Right?
I'm an omnivert. I am an introvert until I get around people. Or like get into like a social setting.
I'm like you.
I flourish in social settings. I don't flourish in places like work. My coworkers think I'm quiet.
Really? I'm good at work because I feel like I can kind of put on a personality at work and like, hey Jim, how's the wife? How's your golf swing? Type of like, you said it, you forget it, you do it. And I'm good in social situations. I can join anybody's podcast. It's fine, but I need to be alone at least a little bit of every day to feel to feel like myself. Otherwise, I get upset. Like I get overwhelmed.
Once you're at the social situation, it's cool. But
yes.
It's like, I'm getting ready to go, and I'm like, do I really want to go? I could be playing Red Dead. Why?
That's me.
I dread going to a function, but once I'm there, I'm there and everything's great.
Agreed.
It's like going to see my family. Like my family lives like a little bit over an hour away from me. Most of my family lives a little bit. So like the like getting there and like getting myself up to go there is like
exhausting.
But once I'm there, I'm just like, okay, this is exactly what I needed. And I'm there and I'm social and everything's great. But like the idea of just going is just like, why do I have to?
Why did I say yes to this? I do that all the time. Why did I say? Yeah. And then you get home and you're like, I had a good time, but I am exhausted. I'm done with people. I need to go shut myself in a dark room. I also don't love going on vacation because it takes me out of my day-to-day routine. I realize this makes me a party pooper, but it's like I wake up in the morning, I have the coffee in the cup I like to have the coffee in. I like to take a shower at a certain time, and my shower, I like the idea of being on vacation, but when I'm there, I'm just like, it's not the same.
Right. That's kind of the point, though. That's kind of the point, right?
I know, but I'm grumpy about it. Like I like my routine.
I haven't been on a real vacation in years. I've taken time off.
Right, that's staycations are good.
Yeah, I love a steak. I love a good staycation.
Oh baby, yeah.
But I live alone now, so every day is a staycation when I'm not at work.
I'll tell you.
It's just every day is a staycation when I'm not at work these days. But vacations are just kind of weird. Like
stressful, weirdly stressful.
I'd rather like do like a cool little weekend. Like I don't want to go somewhere for a week. Like
I went to Niagara for this past week for like 2.5 days. That was enough. That was like the perfect amount where I was like, okay, I'm tired of this bed now. And it was just when I was going to go back to mine. Like, good. I'm happy.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Like, I didn't realize until we went. So in 2019, we went to Atlanta and we got there Thursday, Friday, whatever, Thursday night, Friday morning. And we came back Monday. And, man, that was a little too long, right?
Because 5 days.
It was a little too long. I was like, yeah, and it was a 13-hour drive too. Ooh. So it was a beast. It was a beast on you, boy. But But yeah, that was tough.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just like max for me 3, maybe 4 days if it's like a really really cool spot. But 3 days, that's probably about all your boy need, man.
Yeah, that's why I don't like music festivals either. Because it feels like it puts stress into things that should be fun. Like you cannot.
Music festivals are way too many people.
It's too many people. It's like theme parks.
I mean, a music festival, like you listen, like, oh man, look at this lineup, all these bands I want to see. You're not going to see all of them.
Yeah,
because and you have to run between stages. Yeah, that's stressful.
And they're playing at the same time. Like I would, so all that stuff, and it's like, there's like 5 bands I really want to see for $250 when I could have just saw them for like $20.
Right, or stream the thing at this point, right? Yeah. I realize this makes us probably sound old and grumpy, but am I the only one who needs a buffer day between vacation and back to life?
Absolutely not. I need
that buffer. Oh, you had 2 days. I need a day. I need to get home and do the laundry and I need a day before I can return to life because I need a vacation from my vacation before I can go back to work, right?
Always.
This is what happens, kids who are in their 20s who will just get up and go places with a duffel bag. This is what happens when you get old.
Oh, you
need to stretch more, you need to drink more water, and you need a buffer day.
That's what age will do it to you, man. Like you can't stay up as late, you can't drink as much, and you definitely can't move around as fast.
Your back
it's just
hurts for no reason first thing in the morning either. These 20-year-olds don't understand.
I gotta pay somebody to do my grass now.
I do that too. I pay somebody.
My back hurts now.
Lou, what are you gonna do with your dad New Balance if you're not doing the grass?
I have this new pain.
Oh, good. Let's play this game.
It's a pain that I've never had before, and it's just weird. The left side of my left knee just randomly hurts. It's not the whole knee.
Just a little bit.
It's just the left side of the left knee just randomly just decides, fuck this shit.
Fingers everywhere.
Just listen to this one because this is good. It was 2019. It was right before the pandemic.
Arthritis.
Yeah, this is so. Maybe this is what happened to me. I woke up in the morning. I was sleeping on my stomach with my head turned one way. I pushed my body up. I turned my head the other way and threw the whole side of my neck out. Had to go to urgent care. Had to get muscle relaxers. When they asked me what I did, I said I woke up this morning. That's what I did.
That's what
my neck said. Fuck you. You're gonna lay down for 3 days.
Muscle relaxers are the best thing and the worst thing.
You can't do anything. You can't do anything.
It's like you know like the first time Neo went to the Matrix.
Yes.
And he was just and it was like that. They made it look fucked up on purpose. Like they put it like a screen behind them while they were supposed to be driving in a car to make it look like separate from him. That's how you feel when you're on muscle relaxers. Yes. Like you feel like you are like outside
next to yourself.
Yep. Yes. Yeah. You feel like you're outside of yourself. And like everything that you think about, you're just kind of like,
woo.
Everything just moves so slowly. It feels like it feels like you're in the Matrix and like you're just like, hey, I remember I used to eat there, and you're like looking at your kitchen. I
remember that I used to drink coffee out of that cup. That's what it's like. Except but when you go to urgent care, you're old. When you go to urgent care and they ask you how you did it, and they're expecting you to say, full contact football in the back field, or I fought off a mugger. No, I woke up this morning and turned my head to the left.
I'm going to tell you how old I am.
No, please.
The urgent care spot is my primary doctor.
Ooh,
so that
you're
I
old.
So that whenever I need to go, I can just go and I don't have to wait for an appointment.
Word, that's smart.
My primary doctor. That's old.
Yeah. That's old. I got a regular primary doctor, and I've got I woke up this morning and injured myself taking a deep breath doctor, which is the urgent care. That's the kind of stuff 20-year-olds wake up after a 2-day bender, shake it off, eat some Lucky Charms out of a bowl, and go about their business. Meanwhile, I want to die just because I woke up the wrong way in the morning.
Yeah. So here's what's crazy. So since the pandemic started, have you tried to get into your regular doctor?
I have very successfully been able to, but
okay.
I not for like I'm sick and need to see you now. For like I'm gonna see you in 2 weeks. For my
no. I'm talking about I'm sick. I need to leave. So last summer, I was riding, and I've only ever, I bike ride. Elaine, we bike ride. You Peloton at the house, but you got a real bike too.
I got a bike. I know how to ride one. I promise.
Yeah, exactly. I do too.
Cycle. All right,
I do too. I've been riding for like 5 years. I only fell off twice. Right, only fell twice. Not too bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I fell once, and I was going like 19 miles an hour. Fell on concrete. Keep that in mind. So I skid and I cut everything up. Yeah, it was a whole ordeal, right? And I tried to get into the doctor. And I said, listen, I fell on some concrete, and it was a knee that I had surgery on before. I had to have my patella tendon reattached because it had snaps. So hashtag old, right? Hashtag we up there. So So I tried to call him and get in. You know how long these jokers wanted me to wait?
Like a month, right? Like a month or two?
Yeah, like a month. I was like, I walked in the room. I was like, middle fingers all around. I'm just going to go ahead and rehab this myself. So I did.
The urgent care is for when you're sick. Like, here's the thing. When I call my kid's pediatrician, I can get them in 3 hours.
Yeah,
but for an adult, and we need care more. We're older.
Yeah. Like, why do the kids doctors are the only ones who have we have the sick area and we have the we just need a checkup area? Why the fuck do adults don't have that? Why do we have
it's not like adults magically learned how to cough into their elbow. They don't. They're worse than the children.
Absolutely. Straight up. Hey, Elaine, God is my witness. I went into the gym today. You saw the shirt. I went to the gym.
You got the muscle tang on.
I went to the gym. I went to the restroom. Went there to use it. Went into the restroom. Dude that left the restroom before me.
Didn't wash his hands.
Did not wash his hand. Like, you nasty bastard. Don't you even go touch a weight. Don't go touch one weight.
Why is it that the dudes at the urinals never wash the damn hands? Why is that a thing that happens? Y'all be touching your parts, not washing.
You know who I'm pointing at. You know who I'm pointing at. Hey, you notice he ain't said a word during this whole.
I just want to carry I want to have
a holster. Drunk, damn it!
Right.
Never forget. Never forget.
Hashtag never forget. So you want to walk around with a holster with hand sanitizer?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because I've seen too many people leave restrooms without washing their hands. Females, I don't walk into the men's bathroom, but I've seen women do it too.
The women's bathroom is like the worst place on earth.
It can be super bad. Why do you know this information, by the way?
Because I'm black and I know janitors.
Okay, all right. That's a very good reason. Not I'm creeping in women's bathrooms for my free time. I just wanted to make sure.
So Elaine, I recommend you go back and you can find it. Anthony Alex on his podcast, Angry Mailman, he told us, because he used to work as a janitor, cleaning up, and he and one of his friends, they were both on the show together, and they had discussions about the stuff they saw. They didn't, just to not get into detail, they had one line that made you think, how do you get poop on the ceiling? That's it. That's all you need to know. That is all you need to know.
Have you ever just felt your brain start to ooze out one of your ears? Have you ever just had that moment? Because that's what just happened when you said those words. Now every bathroom I go in, I'm going to look up. That's what's going to happen now. And then I'm going to
that happened when I was cleaning the ladies' bathroom at the at a truck stop. Like someone had it looked like they had stood on the toilet and pooped on the pot on the back.
No.
It was running down it and it was all over everything.
Okay, sorry.
I'm gonna take the muscle relaxers just to forget this conversation now. That's what I'm gonna. I don't
exactly disconnect. That's what you got to do.
Did I really think about poop on the ceiling? Nah.
No, right. I wasn't here. That didn't happen. The problem is there's a recording of this, so I can just
somewhere. Hey, just to Donnie. I know Donnie's gonna be excited to support you in your endeavors. Just kind of keep this one away from him.
It's unfortunate that I posted this one to Facebook. If my mother's listening to this, Mom, I'm sorry. I never post podcasts to Facebook. This was.
I knew this would be like this. I never listen to podcasts anymore. I was there.
I don't usually listen back to them either. I was here for it. I don't.
Yeah, you and him have the same thing. Yeah.
the only thing I'm going to do is to do two things. One is say, I really like what that guy had to say, but I really hate his voice talking about myself. Like that's the only thing that I'm gonna do during this whole thing is going like, I really hate his voice, but I love what he had to say.
Sometimes I actually think that I black out during podcasts, especially ones like this where it's just nonsense, because people will text me, listen to it, and text me or message me and be like, "This was hilarious." I'm like, I don't even remember saying that.
You know what? That
I am funny, but I don't remember saying that.
That happens to me sometimes. Sometimes Mike J, shout out to Mike J, will send me a message and I'm just kind of like, I don't remember. Like when he sent me the thing about the Michael Jackson, that happened at the beginning of the episode pretty much. So I didn't really remember that episode. And he was just like, yeah, damn it, now I'm listening to Michael Jackson. And I'm like, oh yeah, that did happen in that episode. Yep. Yeah.
Sometimes it's when people send it out of context. Like I'm gonna get a message at some point being like, really? Milky Way? That's what's gonna happen. And I'm gonna completely forget that this conversation happened. I'm gonna be like, the fuck did I say? When did I? Are you where? Like, I'm gonna be very confused.
Well, I'm having bad thing with, because like during August we've been recording every week. So I'm like, did I talk about this last week? I don't know. It just seems like, because it's every week, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to ask sometimes, did I talk about this? Did I talk about this thing?
Did I black out?
But then I would forget, because sometimes we'll hang out on Friday nights and then we'll try to figure out, did we talk about it then or did we talk about it?
Yeah, this is another sign, kids, that you're old. You can't keep track of when you told the funny. You know, when you go to Christmas and your uncle always tells the same stories? That happens when you get old. That's what
absolutely.
Right?
My daughter tells me that now. She's just like, yes, Dad, I know.
I've heard that
thing
one
here. Like, I've heard this before. And so I got to the point to where as I asked her, like, did I say, yeah, you did.
Okay.
She's like, all right, fine.
My brother does that because he drinks too much.
And then I quiz her. And then I quiz her. I go, okay, so what did I say? And she goes, you're going to say blah, blah, blah.
And you're like, I was going to say that.
Like, you're right.
You're right.
No, you don't even go like, you're right. You go like, shit, you're right.
Either I told this already or I'm that predictable that they know how this is going to end. And it could go either way. And we won't know the difference. We're too old.
I'm full of useless knowledge, especially about music. And like we'll be listening to music and stuff like that. And I always have some like I listened to a show. I listened to a show where the person who wrote this song said that they wrote it, while they were in high school. They just had a bad breakup and all this other stuff. But later on, like it was just kind of sitting around somewhere, and Beyonce heard it. So it was like, oh shit, Beyonce liked this song. She can have this song, like that type of shit. Like stuff like that happens to me all the time when I talk to my daughter about it. She's my only child, so I have nobody else to fucking spread this to.
That's what you do. Right. That's what kids are for. They have to listen to your stories. I don't understand.
That and grab the remote when you're too far away. Like it's only two things.
Go. I love giving my kids like, go put this in the recycling.
Yeah,
that's my favorite ever.
Little tasks.
Yes. They'll complain. I'll be like, my knees make noises when I stand up.
Okay.
Yours don't.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem with my child. I can tell her to do something and she'll do it. But if there's more than one instruction, she'll never do the second thing. The second thing never gets fucking done. And it's just like, I told you to take a shower, then this just happened the other day. Go take a shower.
This happens to me all the time.
After you take a shower, take a picture of the school clothes we just bought so you can send them to your mom so she could see, because we don't live together anymore. Take a picture of your school stuff so she can see and render her approval because the money came from her. So like, okay, I need you to go take a shower and then do this thing. I'm gonna go to the store. I'll be right back. I literally went to the store to return some of the clothes. I came back. All of the school stuff was in the exact same bag, laying the exact same way it was before. She's sitting there on her phone with headphones on and la 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 la. And I was like, "Did you do the second thing? Did you take the pictures?
What pictures? Didn't tell me to do that. You didn't tell me to do that.
The fuck you mean?
Child, I swear, I make them. My girl child just ignores everything I tell her to do because I mean she's my daughter and she's quite sassy. So like I got what I got. Okay, Karma's a real bitch. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Absolutely. My son, I have to be like, look at me in the eyes. Here is the list, and repeat it back to me. And that's how I have to deal with him. And I'm like, if they're not looking at me when I give them instructions, they only hear one. It could be the first instruction. It could be the last instruction. It's a dice roll. You don't know. Russian roulette. Look at me in the eyes, and you can't ask him to do more than 2 things. Third thing, never getting done.
See, I wish I could do that, but like I have a daughter, and like I know that I can't do the, like I did ROTC in high school all 4 years, so like I knew that I could do I give you instruction, and then I say sound off, and you tell me exactly what the fuck I just told you, and like, but I can't do that with her because like then I feel like I'm being too mean.
What do you mean, man?
Wait, hold on. No. That's how you gotta treat the kids. They don't respect you. It's like a baby raptor. You have to make sure it respects you, or it's gonna get big and it's gonna be scary.
We've already had this discussion. My child is highly disrespectful. My child is highly disrespectful to adults. Child is highly disrespectful to adults. Like she will if she feels like you crossed her in any way, shape, or form, she will say exactly what she's thinking.
Oh Lord.
And I'm just kind of like,
oh boy,
man. I see. So you said that earlier.
There's a time and a place for things. I tell her all the time, child. There's a time. I call her child. She calls me father. I call her child. Yeah, child. Right. Child. There is a time and place for these things, and you always do the wrong thing. Like whenever you make a decision on your own, you always make the wrong decision.
I love it.
And you listen to respond. You don't listen to understand. And that's the reason why we end up in this situation over and over again every day. I got to the point one day that I just ended up in the car screaming, just shut the fuck up. Like, it just like, shut up. Like, you know me, because there was a misunderstanding. Mm-hmm. There was a misunderstanding about misappropriated funds.
Oh, okay.
We went to the store and we spent a little bit too much money. Like I said, I live by myself. I can't spend how I used to spend.
Right.
So I tell my daughter, I say, okay, so when we go to the store today, we have to be a little bit more careful because we spent too much money last time. Well, I didn't, blah, 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 blah. And she just starts going off. And I'm just like, child, I said, we spent too much money. I'm not blaming you for this. I'm just saying we spent too much money. But I didn't, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just trying to explain, like, yo, I didn't put this on you. You keep acting like I'm blaming you. And she just keeps going back and forth and she can't let it go. She can't let anything go. And I'm just like, please, please just be quiet. No, because like I said, she feels offended by this. So now she can't stop. So
I'm over here like, child, you don't, and I will not hit my children, but you will not.
So I'm just like, I'm like, child, just be quiet. Just stop. Just shut the fuck up. And like, I'm at this point, I'm screaming.
Oh like, my God.
Shut up. Don't say nothing. Say nothing else. Don't say nothing to me ever in fucking life, you disrespectful little shit. I didn't blame you for anything. But like now you got me like, and she was like, why are you always yelling at me? Because when the conversation, this happened years ago with my cousin and her son. When I lost my job and I had to live with my cousin for a little bit, and I had a conversation, and I was listening to a conversation. I'm in the other room, and I'm listening to a conversation, and he goes, "Why do you always cuss at me?" And she goes, "Because when I tell you to do stuff normally, you do absolutely nothing. If I say to you, go take out the trash, you don't do anything. If I say get your ass up and take out the fucking trash, then you actually go do the thing." Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then of course after that whole thing with my daughter, now she's mad at me for screaming at her. Like, you don't have to scream at me. Right. I had to tell you 20 times to just stop. Just stop. Just stop.
This is teenage. That's teenage. I'm not ready. My daughter is 9, and I'm already like girding my loins for this. Like, I know how this is going to go because she's already so sassy, and she's only 9, and she's so small.
See, here's the thing. Here's the thing for me. It started at 7
Yeah, that sounds right.
But it started in her other home.
I see.
Yeah.
It didn't go to me. It didn't go to me until recently. In the last couple of years or whatever. Yeah. That's when it started happening to me.
Well, she's a teenager now. Now it's just going to everybody. No one escapes the teenage wrath and angst.
So here's the thing. So here's the thing. So my niece, just like that, right? Started like you said, started in the other home, right? My brother was there for a while, but then he wasn't, right? And so she was a lot like her mom, little hood, and her attitude spun up at home. But then she tried that at my mom's house, who's her grandma. And Elaine, I know you heard this phrase growing up a lot, because I know you used to be a little rowdy, a little rambunctious.
Oh no, I was good, but my brother.
No games.
Go ahead, dish it out. I know I've heard it. Go ahead.
No. So she said something to my mom. She was like, "Well, y'all be over here playing favorites. I ain't gotta listen to y'all." My mom turned her, and she turned her head and said, "Little girl." So once you hear that, it's time to straighten up, little girl. I'm going to tell you one time and one time only. Don't you ever disrespect me in my house, or I'm going to hurt you. That's all she needed to say. That's all.
It's when they tell you, it's when my mother or my grandmother would say, I'm only going to say this once.
One time.
Oh, you done fucked up. When my mother starts a conversation with, I'm only going to say this once, you're like, oh shit, like your butt fuckers.
My dad said it. My dad said the same thing, but in a different way. He's like, I'm going to tell you once. After then, I'm gonna have to show you.
Yep, it's the same idea, but that was the threat from my mother. Yep. I'm gonna tell you one time while she's holding like the wooden spoon that she's been stirring something with. I'm gonna tell you one time. My mother never hit me with that spoon, but she's real scary. It was enough. She's so small too. She's like 4'11", you know, and I've probably told this story on a million podcasts. I'll never remember the time. I'll never forget the time she had that spoon and she went to smack my brother with it, and he moved out the way and she cracked it on a chair and it broke in half. And that fool ass boy made the mistake of laughing at her. And she said, so you think that's funny? And she grabbed a metal spatula.
Right.
I never seen that boy haul his ass so fast to his room and hold the door shut. Like, oh Lord. This is how it ends. This is how I die.
I laughed at my dad once.
You do it one time.
Once. Because I wasn't a bad child. I would just do stupid stuff, and I would get in trouble in school a lot. Like, pulling a little white girl's hair or something like that. Like, what I mean? Like, nothing like, oh my God, I did something like I ain't punched nobody in the face, but like trying to trick people and stuff like that. Because
like class clown shit. Like, I feel
class clown shit. So I used to get in trouble all the time. I used to get in trouble so much, like every time I went in the office, it was like, okay, Mike, what did you do now? And it was like, that's how they greeted me. Yeah. And it was just like, well, Miss Harris told me to bring this to the office. It's like,
oh, right. What'd you really do?
What'd you really do? Like, let me see what you got right there. What's in your hand?
Right.
It was that. So I used to get whoopings all the time in elementary school. And my grades were terrible. Like I was bad. Like not like a bad kid, but like I was just not a very good person during this time. Just mischievous, I guess you would say, not bad. So I used to get whoopings all the time, and it got to a point to where they stopped hurting. Because at first, like my dad's former military, so he had a canvas belt, and the canvas belt stopped hurting. And then I used to get whoopings with the leather belt, and after a while, the leather belt stopped hurting. And my dad is a third shifter.
Okay.
So I would get whoopings when he came home from work. At 2-3 o'clock in the morning. So like, if I do something in school and I know the ass whooping's coming, like I had to like basically sleep with one eye open until that that came. And then so one day I got in trouble with school, something stupid, and my dad came upstairs, gave me a whooping, and I made this mistake. Now I would just fake cry until he was gone.
I was gonna say, fake it, man. Yeah. Yeah. What are you doing?
Fake it till you make it. Just cry and then.
Yeah, that's how you do that.
Just do that until I heard him go back downstairs, because like only the kids' rooms were upstairs. Their bedroom was downstairs. So that's when I heard him go all the way back downstairs. All right, I'm cool. I made the mistake one time, and I looked up during mid whooping.
Oh Lord!
And I saw his face, and I saw how hard he was working, and I broke character.
Oh, you're a damn fool!
Yes. Yep.
I caught a class ring to the jaw.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, just like he was. I mean,
you don't laugh.
Like that's a no. Like
you never laugh,
especially when like you like, and you don't realize this until you're a parent. Like when you have to spank someone, like when your parents say like this is gonna hurt me as much as it's gonna hurt you, like you don't realize how true that is. Like how you gotta psych yourself up to whoop a child's ass.
Yeah, I've never done it, but I can totally imagine that.
I used to. I'm not even gonna lie. I used to. And like how you feel afterwards, and you feel like an absolute fucking monster afterwards.
Sure.
You have to talk yourself into, I'm doing this because this is right for the correction of my child in this moment, and like to be laughed at in the middle of that.
When you've already, I get it, dude. Like you don't.
Yeah,
everybody knows you dumbass doesn't laugh. You make that mistake one time with one person. You never make it again, and you don't make it with the other parent. Like, my dad would never. My dad's a big baby. Like he wouldn't. He's just a softie. He would never hit anybody. My mom hit my brother one time, maybe twice. It was not frequently. We didn't get like spanked a lot. But he laughed, and he only laughed once, and she pulled that spatula out, and I think he just saw Jesus, like in that moment. Like that's it. This is how I go down, because she was angry. And she's an ICU nurse, and you don't trifle with those crazy ladies.
I mean, that's a lot of stuff.
That spatula was pretty much a samurai sword at that point.
Yeah, it was coming. She could have took him out. He held his door closed, and she screamed at him from the other side of his door. And I had to sit in my bedroom and not laugh, because if she heard me laughing, I was catching it.
She was coming for you. Yeah.
You don't. Sweet child.
And you just kind of like, I will kill you.
She was talking through her teeth, like frothing, like it was, and I'm just like, this is hilarious because it's not me, and he's a dumbass. But if she hears me laugh through this door right now, I'm dead.
I am practiced in the art of not laughing, because my brother was always a troublemaker. 4 years older, laugh. He always got spanked. He's always got all type of stuff, and I'm just sitting there like, man, they told you. Like, man, they told you.
What do you do? Yeah. Hey, you've been warned.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just sitting over there, just like, man.
I was the oldest, and I was the child who never broke any of the rules. Like I was like he always used to call me like the golden child, my brother. I was like I was afraid of authority. I still am. So he broke all the rules, and he got in trouble, and I had to try not to laugh at his dumbass.
I'm the ultimate middle child. I'm the one that learns from everyone else's mistakes.
That's how it was. I was younger, but I was the youngest child. I'm
the one that's like, okay, I saw where you fucked up there. Let me not do that.
Yeah. My brother was the one who always like pushed the boundaries. I never pushed the rules. So I was like, I had a very healthy fear of authority. My mom's real scary. I didn't want to, my grandmother was kind of scary, and I was just like I'm a people pleaser. I was a people pleasing kid, and that's just like I wanted people to not hate me or be mad. My brother was like, fuck authority. What can I get away with?
Right, exactly.
And that's
I'm gonna go right up to it.
My little brother was the same way.
There's always one.
Like he actually like stole the car before.
Oh Lord, there's always a kid who does that. Who does that?
But see, like one time he stole the car to help me.
And he got in trouble, probably.
No, it's just like he put it back where it was.
Put it back. Oh my!
He put it back where it was, but like what I mean, like you have these things to where it's like you come off the curb a little bit too hard and just kind of skirt, and just kind of hits the ground, and like I'm pretty sure somebody noticed something, but like what are you gonna do at that point? He put it back.
Bogus, man.
There's always like kind of piggyback off thing Scar was saying earlier, like that about how the kids will learn from you, you know, but you also learn from the kids. Like, so if
I learned a lot.
If they're saying like, oh, they're not responding to you being nice, but they do respond to when you're upset, then that's going to show you, well, I just need to get upset and you'll do what you need to do. And then
they reinforce our behavior as much as we reinforce theirs in a lot of ways when it comes to parenting. And like, yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting, like if you have more than one kid, you have to parent them differently. And absolutely. People and children don't understand that. Like they're like, but you didn't do that, but I don't have to do that with your brother. The rules are different because you act different. You respond differently. I have to parent my two kids different. You can't parent kids the same.
I grew up in a house where I was one of 4 kids. And yes, you are 100% correct. How my stepmom, who I was around most, you know, like I said, my dad was a third shifter. I'm, you know, on my way home from school, my dad is on his way out the door. You know, like that type of thing. So like I spend a lot of time around my stepmom, and I did notice, like I said, because I'm a middle child and I pay attention to everything, how different she was with each of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Isn't that wild? Like, it's wild. Like, because I was people pleaser, my mom could get by with saying that she was disappointed. I'm not mad, I'm disappointed. And I would feel bad enough to correct my behavior. With my brother, it was completely different. She had to scream at him or threaten him, like, because he wouldn't respond to I'm disappointed. He'd be like, too bad for you, bitch. You know, like, so.
That's not my fault. Like, if you're disappointed, that's not my fault.
I would, like, cry and feel awful, right? Like,
my little brother, like, you could probably tell me that you were disappointed and I'd probably feel it. But, like, you had to stop just short of saying, I fucking hate you to my little brother for it to affect him.
Right. But that's, and if you really do pay attention, like parents who try to parent all their children exactly the same always end up so frustrated. It's like, I understand wanting to be equitable, but it doesn't work that way. Like every kid's, it's like dealing with your friends. You can't deal with all your friends the same way. You can't express displeasure to people the same way. You have to treat people differently. Parenting multiple kids is the same shit, man.
Why be nice to Chase? Like that doesn't seem.
That's not nice. Like he's so just.
He's so.
You see what Chase got to put up with, man.
I'm going to have to mom the 3 of you. I would have to mom the 3 of you different. That's what would have to happen. You know? But it's funny.
Chase is so mild though. Like
he's very chill. He's like.
And Chase is a little guy. I like messing with Chase because he's so little. Like he doesn't seem as little as he is. But like when I actually, bruh.
You're making him defensive, my dude. Like
that's next to you, just like Blue
I'm 5'8". It's not that little.
But bigger than me.
I know you taller than me, but I mean,
I'm small. I'm tiny. Yeah. So, but I'm probably the one who's just like fuck around and find out the most out of all 4 of us because I'm the smallest one, and we always overcompensate. Also, women, because we deal with so much shit on such a regular basis, we're just always ready to fight you. We're just always ready to fight.
Like the Hulk, right? Like the secret is I'm always angry. Right?
That's all women all the time. That's all women, especially women who work in male-dominated fields. We're just ready to fight you because we have to. It's not
just on GP, because it's like it's an unspoken part of the resume that needs to be on there.
Have you seen the outtakes from that scene?
No.
Where he goes, the secret is I'm always angry. He turns around and runs the complete opposite fucking direction.
It's funny though, because
that's funny.
He just turns around and runs the complete opposite direction. It is the funniest shit.
That's pretty good. I should start doing shit like that at work. That's how I should just respond to everything.
You see those the bloopers and stuff like that. They have so much fun.
They do.
Yeah.
I'm jealous of like how much it looks like they laugh. You know what I mean? Like that's so awesome. Like
especially with like RDJ in the room, man. Like that dude. Like Tropic Thunder was insane. In general,
that was a very funny movie.
And then you man,
you know these little fucking kids keep trying to cancel Tropic Thunder because he was in blackface. But like I was like, no, that's the point. The point is he is not in blackface. His character is
supposed to be shitty and a caricature of a shitty human. Like that's part of the point. It's hard. That stuff gets lost in translation every decade that a movie sits sometimes, I think. You know, like there's a whole conversation about that in media, and it's like very weird. It's like time and place. Songs are like that too.
Man, music is probably the most indicative.
You mean like
that. Yeah.
Like a thing that where like this joke isn't racist, it's making fun of racism type thing.
Kind of, yeah. Like it's
and like how they try to go back and try to rewrite history, like, and they try to like come at people like years after the fact, like, you know, like how the early Eminem's, and he does it a little bit now, but like his use of the alternate F word is like extreme. It's extreme in early Eminem's work.
A whole lot, yeah.
But that was like of that era too. Like that's in Korn, that's in Limp Bizkit, that's in
music is very much like
Korn has a song called alternate F word.
They do.
You know what I mean?
They do a whole song, and it's like music is Blue is right. Music is probably the most like the strongest realization of this, because language gets filtered right through it, cultural norms get filtered through music, like what's going on in the world at that moment gets filtered through music. Even like music back in like the 60s and 70s, when you start looking at like the Kent State shootings and stuff like that, that's all in music. Like it's like a snapshot of the socioeconomic and political. It's like wild, even more than like movies. It's insane.
Because if you look at music, it's such a singular art form. Now here we go. It's such a singular art form, right? Because it can be birthed from one person and their feeling and their perspectives and their emotions and their psychological, I guess, their emotional dealings with one particular area in their life, really happening in one particular segment of time, right? So as a result, everything's gonna be filtered into that, right?
It's like a therapy session. Like when you look at when you think about talking to your therapist for an hour and you take one song of someone's pain in that moment, that's one therapy session for them. That's a vent of that thing. And like you don't get to hold me to my one therapy session over decades. Like you grow and you do change, and lots of people do. So you can't just be like, well, he used that word, that makes him a shitty person now. I'm like, but if he was still doing it, that's different. Constantly and as much, and he kind of still does, and he's maybe not the best example, but there it's people have to be allowed to grow, dude.
Absolutely.
You know what's a good example? My life, my recent ex, she when she listened to R&B music, I noticed that a lot of the music that she gravitated to were all like kind of breakup songs.
Fair enough. Sure. Okay.
And like, and then like I would be like, yo, you do realize that you're just listening to a whole bunch of breakup songs in a row. And she was just like, this doesn't affect me. And I was like, you really think this doesn't affect you when tomorrow, when you're mad at me for no fucking reason,
you're not playing that back in your head? Like right in that moment, you know what I mean?
This is really not affecting you? Okay, cool. So tomorrow when you're fucking pissed off at me and you have no fucking idea why, I want you to remember this conversation.
Right.
It's stuff like that. Stuff like music is probably the one thing that I always have like time and place associated with. Like that when that DMX album, It's Dark and Hell is Hot, dropped, I can tell you what vehicle I was bumping that in, where I was going.
I can tell you what video game I was playing a lot.
Right. You can I know exactly who I was in the car with. I cannot remember what I ate for breakfast yesterday. But when there's a song tied to a moment like that, I could tell you exactly where I was. And that album is a very vivid high school memory for me because I love that album.
I have a lot of like albums tied to video games because of like, okay, I was super into Jay-Z's Volume 1 when I was playing Tomb Raider 2 a lot.
That was a good game. You know what I mean? A good movie, a good soundtrack, good record.
Yeah. Like, for that. Yeah, but like I was playing Tomb Raider 2 a lot. And like when As Dark as Hell is Hot, I was playing a lot of NBA Live.
That's a good
like, just a lot of that, like psyching myself up. Yeah, I'm gonna create this character, make him fucking awesome, and just go be fucking the greatest basketball player ever.
Linkin Park's album, Within the End on it, dropped when I was. But they dropped when I was in my freshman year, and Final Fantasy X came out, and everybody would be either playing that album or playing that game. So they're tied for me because I would just walk down hallways and hear them together.
Mine was Rough Riders. Yep. Rough Riders. DMX's Rough Riders Anthem, like that whole album.
Rough Riders Anthem was like college.
Man, yeah, that was college for me. That was my freshman year when I first joined my fraternity. We played that song when the whole campus knew when you came out and people knew I was an alpha. It's like, like that stuff right there, just like sticks, right? And then tons of different tracks, Juvenile and them, man, like, because that's what we were bumping at parties. And then you had Mystical, you had Lil Jon and Ludacris and Usher and them all together on all these tracks. Like, man.
Usher track, is like a very specific and like memory for me too.
Absolutely.
And like I'll be taking a dumb Peloton ride, and they'll have a soundtrack, and they'll pull one of those old hits, and I'll be like, I know exactly where I was. I need to get off this bike and go take a nap. I don't like it. I feel some kind of way. Missy Elliott will do that to me too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Get your freak on for sure.
Get your freak on.
Okay, so let me tell you about Missy. I have negative feelings about Super Duper Fly.
Really? I don't like that. I never really liked that track personally, but I don't have a good reason.
But the album, I have negative feelings about that because leading up to that album, it was all of these features and songs and stuff that she was on that she was rapping. And then you buy Super Duper Fly and she's fucking singing through most of the album. And it's where the fuck is the rapping?
That's true. She's such a good rapper. She's such a good rapper.
I am here for rapping. And I am not getting rapping. This is bullshit. And of course, like, I have to represent because that's Virginia. And like, and I'm from like near that area. I'm not there now, but I'm from near the area where she's from.
Right.
And like, so like, I gotta put on my cape for this. But
I don't like it.
You don't really
I'm disappointed. And then like people talk shit about Magoo, right? People talk shit about Magoo.
Right.
But here's the problem with Magoo. Magoo only had the problem with Magoo was his voice. Because basically him and Missy basically said very similar things, and we accepted it from her because it was her. We didn't accept it from him because we didn't like his voice.
No, but there's something, and she was a woman too, and it was a little bit different in some of those ways.
I think. Well, the thing about Missy Elliott that always sticks out is she
can dance her ass off.
She was very bold sexually for a woman who looked like that.
I
pre-losing
every other female rapper at that time was like a completely different body type, and they carried themselves differently. And even and all the singers, Eve, it was different. It was like Missy Elliott gave no shits. She was exactly who she was.
I saw something and Eve was on it, like it was like a video or something like that, and Eve was on it, and Eve then went and got her a good white man, and her life is completely different.
Really? Does she still have the short hair that's bleached like white as hell? Because that was such a stark look for her. I love that look. No, her good white man and don't want her to look like that. That's too bad. Like she had a badass look. Like I loved her look. I wanted to be like her.
It was look up images.
I'm gonna do that after the show.
New Eve. Like New Eve don't look like old Eve at all.
That's wild. That's too bad. I loved her. Like I liked her whole vibe. Like the way she carried herself and the way she rapped on tracks was so good.
She was
talented for sure.
She like somebody mama now. You know what I mean? Like
look how old we are when she was dropping albums.
Right, exactly.
She probably is somebody mama now.
I guarantee you she is telling her kids not to do the stuff she used to rap about.
Right.
Hold on, wait. Am I sharing my screen?
Yeah. I see a watch stream. Yeah. Let me click it. Right
oh man, it is. It looks so different. Let me look. That's like fire though.
Man.
She like somebody mama now.
Man, for real. Like she up in there. Man.
I loved that buzz cut, like short hair that she had, bleached white. That was such a good look. It's she can do. It's her body. She does what she wants to do. But like,
absolutely. Eve was one of the few people though that I would always be like, oh, Eve on this track. Yeah, go ahead and turn that up.
Turn it up. I agree. She had. It was the way it was her voice for me. She was
Eve went out and got her a good white man, and like her life is completely different. And
good for her, man. If she's happy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I applaud her. She wasn't happy. She wasn't happy with her other relationships, and one of her old relationships, he turned out to be a jerk to pretty much everybody. So like. She went and got her a good white man and changed her life, and I appreciate.
I'm glad she's happy. I will say she was one of my favorites of that time on a track. I'm the same as Blue. Oh, Eve's on this. Bump that. Turn it up. Let's see how loud it goes.
Let's get to that verse because she's coming in at the break.
Where's her verse?
She ain't about to play no game. She waiting on the break.
She dropped fire, and you're like, yeah, no, that's my new favorite song.
Yeah, that's what I expected. That's what I expected right there.
Yep. Every time. She didn't ever have. I was never disappointed if she was on a track.
Yeah, I don't hardly remember her bars ever being bad.
No, they were never bad.
Yeah, so.
I didn't always love people like Lil' Kim. I could take or leave.
Yeah, Lil' Kim. I was like,
it was just a little too far at the time. Yeah, it was a little too much.
Here's my problem with Kim. The fact that I knew that Biggie was writing a lot of the early stuff.
That's fair.
That's when that reference track dropped. Because like if you write a song for somebody, sometimes you do a reference track so you can tell them exactly how they're supposed to do it. Mm-hmm. There is a reference track of Biggie performing one of her songs.
Oh, is it so much better? I mean, is it?
It's exactly the same.
Interesting.
But it's Biggie's voice instead of hers, but he's saying it exactly like how she ended up saying it.
Wow, that's wild. That's wild. I mean,
yeah, it is.
I think she's got talent. You know what I mean? I think I like. It's hard for me because I don't always like what she has to say, but I like listening to her say it. Does that make sense?
Right.
You know what I mean?
There is a rare and unreleased reference track of Biggie doing Queen Bitch.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up. That sounds
okay.
That must be crazy.
It's exactly the same song except for it's him.
Wow, that's wild. I didn't know that. I didn't actually know that happened. Like I had no idea. I didn't even consider that they would go that far and not just write the lyrics but do a reference track. Like that's wild.
Yeah, exactly.
There's reference track. Oh, if you fall into,
I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole, dude. I'm gonna do it.
He's telling you not to. He's like saying it's like the pumpkin spice. What you do a little bit is always gonna be with you. Is what he's saying.
Reference tracks, especially for R&B songs, you can find a lot of those online. You don't get a lot for rappers, except for you can find that guy Quentin, whatever his name is, that did a lot of the Drake songs. He wrote a lot of the Drake songs. But like reference tracks for like it's accepted in like R&B. So like there's so many like reference tracks, like like you have like Neo's reference track for Irreplaceable, the song he wrote for Beyonce. And the what's her name, the lady who plays in Pitch Perfect, who writes all of the Rihanna songs.
Yep. I know you're talking about.
She has reference tracks for a lot of those songs that she wrote for Rihanna.
Okay.
Here's the craziest thing, right? I'm gonna tell you. There is a song that is a very popular song, and it was a reference track for someone else, and that person didn't do it, so they used the reference track and made the song anyway.
Oh wow!
Happy.
Really?
Oh, Pharrell.
That Pharrell track?
Pharrell's Happy was Pharrell doing a reference track for CeeLo Green. That is reason he is doing. Shit. That is him doing his CeeLo Green impression. CeeLo Green.
I wonder why he did that song mostly falsetto.
And it never sounded like him, but it was like really like. But I can't imagine anyone else doing it. Even though you said that, I still can't imagine anyone else having picked up that track. It's wild.
CeeLo's record company did not, because that song was originally for Despicable Me. They did not want the record company did not want him to make a song for a children's movie. So his version got scrapped. There is a CeeLo Green version of Happy.
Oh, side note, if you guys have not heard CeeLo Green's Mary, Did You Know?
Oh, that version of that song is
my goodness,
fire. That gives me goosebumps.
Fantastic. We sang it in my church one year. You're right, goosebumps, legit.
And I don't generally actually love that song, but his version of it is wild.
I don't understand how I mean, yeah, like CeeLo isn't the most cleanest thing ever, but neither was Farrell with like Nerd and stuff, you know.
No, it's funny because like.
Well, there's a difference because
right. Good.
Because
he went back further.
So here's the thing. CeeLo pre-solo work was very, very Hoteppy.
Okay.
And you know, if you know Hoteps have a they have a way of rubbing people the wrong way. Mm-hmm. A lot of time they are not a fan of gay people. They're not a fan of Jews sometimes.
Okay.
It's like a lot of that stuff and just being in like if you listen to a lot of that Goody Mob stuff, a lot of the Goody Mob stuff is him rapping, and his rapping is about like it's very black power.
Absolutely. Yeah, my family moved in an apartment complex.
It's very black power. So like when like he started being big and it was just like, hold up, wait. What about all this shit you said?
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
That's why they didn't want
a lot of his pre-solo stuff was very, very problematic to say the least.
Okay.
Contentious.
Yeah.
I would say that. Yeah.
But like you know me, every time you listen to Crazy, all is forgiven.
There are some of those tracks that he has done. Yeah.
I mean, but Gnarls Barkley, like that entire fucking album is completely awesome. That album is the summer of 06 for me.
Yeah. So you can separate yourself from your old self, but when you're famous, your old self is gonna show back up at some point. Because somebody's gonna turn you around and be like, remember this?
Yep.
Because not only is it like something that you said, but it's on wax. Like it's something that someone actually recorded.
That's the hard thing about these days too, is that a lot of these kids they said the stuff, if they did say stuff that was problematic, they said it on social platforms that still exist, like Twitter.
Yeah.
When if we said something when we were dumb and young,
then
it was on fucking MySpace, which is defunct, you know, or LiveJournal.
It goes back to it. It goes back to some of these things. Like there's an old freestyle of Eminem's where he uses the N-word several times, and what had happened was he was in some sort of a relationship with a black lady. She did something to him, and while he was rapping, he wanted to let her know how he was feeling at the time. Is it something that he would do now? Absolutely not. But somebody recorded that, and it was out there. And when he became big, that tape came back up.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, you can try, you know, you gotta be...
that brings up too, you know, you're like, that's bad, but also the enablers, you know what I mean? The guy that lets that happen. You're like, oh man, you my dude, you can say it all you want, you know?
Right, yeah, them enablers, man. I honestly had to have that conversation with my son this summer, man. The neighbor next door took in his wife's sister's kids, right? So like his niece and nephew or whatever, took them in, and he's not like this at all. His wife isn't like this at all, but the kids were like this, man. They must have called my son the N-word like a few times.
Oh damn.
Yeah, and I told him, I was like, what did you say? He's like, man, I didn't say anything. I just left. I'm like, no. You need to go back and straighten that out. You need to tell them, you need to educate them and let them know, because you're going to be that guy that allows them to go around and say it and you don't educate them. And son, they getting ready to go to school with you this year down the street. What happens if they say that down to school, and which the school is like 80% black? What's happening down there? You need to be able to protect them from that, man. They're going to get whooped, and they're going to have a miserable time. So you need to be the person that tells them and sits down and educates them and say, hey, you don't understand what that means. You need to understand where that comes from, right?
And why aren't their parents doing that though?
Because their parents. So the reason the kids moved in next door with like their aunt and step uncle or whatever is because the parents were too busy like going to help other people's families than like focusing on theirs. They were doing a lot of charity to help other people's families, but they didn't raise their kids right, man. So it's a thing. It was like, we were talking about music and how Eminem had used the N-word stuff, but I was just telling them, it's like, you can never be that person that lets somebody slide. You can't.
No, I don't think you can.
You have to educate, and if you're your friend, you have to educate. You have to tell them. Now, if it's a random person in the street, I personally feel you got to punch them. But it's one of the two. Like,
with
you got
that word, like I might be with you on that. I mean, like,
word, right? You know what I mean? Like, it is a fighting word. Yeah, exactly. But it's one of those. No, it's one of those things. It's like, okay, like right now, like I'm like. One of my favorite characters in Mass Effect is Rex, just because Rex is like, he's always down to fight, but if he can solve something diplomatically, he will. He'll sit down and talk it out. I'm the same way as well. If I can solve something diplomatically with you, I'm going to sit down, we're going to talk it out, we're going to hash it out, fist bump, walk our separate ways. However, if we cannot, I stay ready in these streets. So just understand. But yeah, so like, yeah, man, like people have to deal with that. But yeah, never ever. I told my children, never ever be that dude that says, well, I got a friend that lets me say it. You better never ever be that friend.
No,
and I know about it. You're gonna have a problem. You better never ever be that friend. I even tell
my kids, like, you need to stand up to other kids. You can't let people say stuff like that. Like that's exactly. Not like. Man, I have real strong feelings about some of that stuff. Like, especially stuff that's been perpetuated through decades. Like it has to stop somewhere. Like exactly. You know what I mean?
You're right. Ignorance is no longer
tricky.
An excuse.
It's like that's a very difficult parenting moment because like I got to unpack for these kids who are young what that word means and why it's not acceptable.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Too. It's tough because you would think, Elaine, where we are now, right, and where our kids are after us, that we have all of this accumulated history of knowledge to pass down to them to illustrate to them, hey, this is why this is not acceptable, right? But then they're around some of their friends and me. I'm in Oklahoma, so I'm it's kind of south, right? So me kind of being here, they're like, well, but my other friend said, and I don't understand why do they say it? Why? I mean, they're like, why is it okay for them to say it? I'm like, well, they don't say it around me. Number one, number two.
I heard it.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. And so it's just like exactly. So it's just things that just keeps like you would think that we have so much reference points, so much history, so many museums, so many days, so many like educational moments that we have, but for some reason, like it just seems like society just doesn't want to absorb it. It's like throwing a water balloon at a water repellent coat.
It's because people don't want to have hard conversations, Blue. It's because,
you're right.
Especially when it comes to this word and to race, like white parents don't want to do it. They don't want to do the work, and that's bullshit. That's on us. Like that's on me to educate my damn kids.
I think okay. Here's what I think it is.
Right.
Here's what I think the biggest problem is.
This topic got Blue taking it off.
Yeah, he's ready to go. He's like, I don't have shirt to rip off.
Hey, look, this is my N7 hoodie, man. This thing get toasty.
Break it down for me, Scar. I want to hear what you have to say.
You did all that for them little shoulders, but
I tell you what, these little shoulders can bench press you, homie. Just understand.
I'm gonna flex on all y'all.
You know how much I weigh? Do you know how much I weigh?
I mean, okay.
Okay. I think the biggest problem is like growing up, we had those kind of live wire topics that we were never supposed to discuss.
Right. Yeah. That's what it is.
And now that everything is more open and able to be discussed, we don't know how to discuss them.
We never learned how to talk about hard shit. That's exactly it. Especially in like middle class ass white America too. We don't know how to talk about hard shit.
And it's like like politics and religion and race and all of this kind of stuff that we've been conditioned to stay away from as far as conversations go. Mm-hmm. Now, really? when it's time to have these conversations, we don't know what to say. So everyone who does feel like it's something that they need to say is generally for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And we are the don't ask, don't tell generation, right? Like in a lot of ways too.
So.
And that stuff like seeped into everything. And now we just don't talk about it, right? And so we're the ones trying to educate children, and a lot of us don't know how to have those conversations because our parents didn't have those conversations with us. We never learned how to talk about it.
And because we don't know how to formulate these the way you should speak about these, people just do dumb stuff.
They say the wrong damn thing.
Let me tell you about the dumbest shit that I've heard recently.
Oh Lord, I'm not ready. I need to hold this.
Here's the dumbest shit that I've heard recently. Now, there was this lady that was going off about not wanting the vaccine and not wanting to wear a mask because God doesn't want me to wear a mask. God will protect me, blah, 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 whatever. And she's just going on and on and on and on while wearing glasses.
Right. Nope. Yep. The hypocrisy, right? But it's applying this concept to the thing that they want to apply it to in this moment, right? It's like selective hearing, right? A selective conversation, and it's fucking so batshit. But we also just don't think. My parents don't know how to have conversations about hard ass things. They just do not know how, even as an adult me, they do not know how to talk to me about that stuff. So I initiate the conversations, but they don't know how to have a constructive conversation. They'll give you but that's just the way I was raised.
Shut down.
I hate that shit.
Moment. Yeah.
That shit makes me mad because I'm like, well, then do better, dude. Do better now.
Yeah, I would have, if I was to have one of those conversations and that come up, and I'll just be like, yeah, but then you turned around and raised me.
I figured it out. I had to figure it out myself.
I figured this out. Why couldn't you?
Why can't you? And I'm trying to help you too. I'm never coming at this. I never come at stuff like this combatively if I can avoid it. Like, it's got to be some really ugly shit for me to do that. Like, some real bigoted stuff.
At that point, generally, you're already past the peak, right? You're already like, you know what? All right, I'm done. All right, so here we go now. Yeah,
right. I'm mad. Now I'm mad.
I'm gonna be super stereotypical, but here we go. You said that there's a lot of Italians in your family, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever decided to have these conversations with them with your hands like this?
No, we don't do that. But let me tell you, for people,
that's a visual gag, and like if you listen to the podcast, you should go
understand.
Find the video.
I matched you on that one, but it's funny. It's funny you should bring that up because Italian Americans, especially in my father and grandfather's generations, surprisingly, they're bigots. Huge ones, right?
Wow.
But they were persecuted when they came to this damn country.
Right.
So I'm just like, do you not? They'll bitch about that. Many generations, and I'm like, do you not see that you're doing the same shit to a different? Holy God! Yeah. So like,
it's crazy.
It's a lot to unpack, But that's selective hearing. I'm applying it to my ancestors, but not to this other people. It's huge.
That's what Do the Right Thing was about, right?
We go through this. We go through this in the Black community too, because basically, if you were to boil it down, straight Black men are the white men of Black people.
I've heard this conversation quite a few times, and
unfortunately,
I've heard lots of conversations, and I'm glad you guys are here. It's like being gay in that community is even more challenging.
Oh, it is. It is the
like the hyper
masculinity
around that for especially Black men is like very difficult.
So what I was going to say is, you were talking about how we have to learn certain things, and how it's hard for us to have difficult conversations when it comes to men. The most difficult conversation that men our age or I guess our parents had to have were about emotions in men.
Yeah. Yes.
Because they've always skirted from that conversation.
Boys don't cry, Blue.
No,
Boys
man.
don't cry.
Listen. I told him. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, man, go ahead, get it out, let it go.
I'm teaching my son that shit. And he's a we're white.
I get I get fucked about myself because sometimes I'm like, I'm being a stoic ass motherfucker right now.
Yeah.
Now I changed over time. I think with my separation and the fact that it hurt me so much, like it seemed like all of my emotions came out at that one point.
Your hand was forced. You either had to feel it,
Yeah, and I didn't know how to handle it, and like so like I did a lot of stuff at the beginning where it was just like these emotional outbursts that were not good for anyone, but that's because I never had to deal with my emotions. It's always stuff it down, stuff it down, stuff it down.
Right. Yeah.
Men cry in the dark, away from everyone, that type of thing.
Or they get angry. Men get angry. Men get angry. They solve problems with anger. They yell, they scream, they slam doors. They don't feel feelings like sadness. They go secondary emotions.
But I think the where Scar's going, like, it's not only just the emotion part, but it's also, you were talking about for gay and lesbian communities in the African American or gay and lesbian members in the African American community. What's even worse, mental health. Like, that conversation in our community is absolutely toxic.
Is it really? Like, that's like you're not allowed to have anxiety or depression.
No,
like that's
absolutely not. It is ridiculous too.
And I didn't realize it until when I was forced to start seeing a therapist.
Yeah.
I am a depressive. Like, you know what I mean? Like I come here and I yuck it up and all that kind of stuff, and I basically Robin Williams this whole fucking thing.
Sure.
But when I'm alone, like sometimes I can go really low. And over the years of therapy, I've learned to like figure that out and like be able to like catch it when it starts and be like, no, we are not doing this, not today.
We're going to solve it this way. Yes, you work through it.
Learning how to work through it is what therapy has helped me do. But like, it got to the point to where when I started seeing my current therapist, because I saw one before I started seeing her, and one day she's just like, you don't like to feel,
and you want to be like, I don't know how to, like. Men in our generation just straight up, it's not even that they don't like to. They don't know how. They're not taught to. They're taught not to. My brother.
Well, I was listening to actually Ben Folds talk about songwriting. And like it's really hard to make yourself vulnerable. Like, it's easier to like make a song about having two dicks and be like, hey friend, listen to this funny song about having two dicks, than it is to make a song about actual fucking feelings.
Right.
You know something? I noticed this like years ago. Playing music during sex, right? And I'm gonna try not to
go here. All right, here we go. Oh Lord! All right, we talked about everything else. Let's do this.
I'm gonna try not to be gross about this, but I realized that when I was making my playlist, I gravitated to men singing because those men were saying the things that I felt like I couldn't.
Oh, yes. That's interesting.
Absolutely. Yep.
Oh, damn.
I did the same thing, Scar. I did the set. See, this is why me and Scar are like so similar, is because I did the exact same thing. I had Luther, I had Jaheim, I had Jagged Edge.
Was there Boys to Men on there? Was there Boys to Men? Is that the stereotype? That's a sex song stereotype. It is.
No, I didn't have any Boys to Men.
Okay, good.
No. Both versions of Ooh Ah.
Both versions?
Both versions.
But they gotta be on different ends of the playlist, though. You can't be back to back. You gotta.
Nah, I mean, here's the thing. I can't have Boys to Men because that's too much guy while I'm doing my thing. That's too much.
They're all for one Xbox Game Pass.
No, let me tell you something.
Lord, I now have way too much damn information about you.
The Ooh Ah remix in the right place on your playlist is Stroke-tastic, dog. Like that's what she like when
is that an alternate name for the show? Is that an alternate name for the show?
Adjacent or Stroke-tastic? This is a real freaking toss up here.
I'm gonna put AKA.
Yeah. Word. Yeah, there you go. Like
But yeah, but that goes back to the whole me not knowing how to feel. Like if they were singing how I felt, but I couldn't verbalize these things.
Are you? Right. I mean, I'm glad that you did the therapy because that helps you figure that stuff out. Like I have anxiety; it's diagnosed. I have anxiety and depression. I see a therapist weekly. Sometimes, like it's a couple of weeks. Like I'll straight up say it. it's hard in our generation for anybody to be honest about mental health. And I did not know that it's even worse in like sort of the black male community. And you know what, I guess that makes sense. There's a hyper masculinity with men in general, and therapy and feelings and like unpacking their stuff that is deeply problematic because it feeds how they treat their relationships and how they treat women.
And then you're like thinking, I have to pay for this?
Right, yeah. Oh, why do I have to pay to talk? I could talk for free.
Yeah.
That's a whole generational thing too from our dads.
I tell people all the time, therapy is like the best thing ever.
Do it.
Here's the thing. Talking to someone disconnected from your nouns
exactly
is the best thing ever.
And someone who's not there to give you advice. They're never going, if you listen to your therapist, if you have a good therapist, they will never tell you what to do. They will give you your options and they will help you like parse them down to their base level, but they will never give you an opinion. Ever.
Yes. I love when mine starts doing the hand thing. When she starts giving me my options, she goes,
"Oh, you get the Italian bin thing that you do."
but
this is how we talk about making sauce.
But she kind of does that while she's talking. I know when she's really into the conversation when she's
the hands. That stereotype about Italian Americans is true,
making biscuits. She's needing
the biscuits.
Yeah, but when she starts doing the hand thing, that's when I know like it's getting good now.
But like I feel like if everybody went to therapy, the whole world would be better. Like if everybody, and you can't just go there because you're forced. It can't be like we're going to therapy or we're getting, we're breaking up. You have to want to go.
I was forced.
But you went in on it.
And my first therapist, I felt like I was helping him more than he was helping me.
Fair enough.
Because I was able to. Because I'm a talkative motherfucker, and I was able to talk, and I was able to speak directly about how I was feeling about a situation. And he was telling me that he had a similar situation, and he felt at the time exactly like I did, but he did not know how to verbalize it in the way that I could.
That's interesting.
And like sometimes I felt like I was helping him get through his shit more than he was helping me get through mine.
I think that's part of it though. Like it's a two-way conversation. A lot of people think that talk therapy is you laying on a couch talking about your feelings and them just dishing, like writing down notes and not communicating back. It's a good therapist is a conversation. Yeah, period.
And then he's like, anal sex, mother.
Right, like bullets, drawing dicks on the paper. That's part of therapy too, don't you know?
You know what? Luckily for me, I never had the it all leads to my parents thing. Whew, thank goodness. I've never had that because that was never my issues. Mine was attachment issues.
I have those too.
But Sigmund Freud was a complete hack. Like, don't listen to anything that guy written down.
But with my current therapist, what made me switch is because, like you said, it was a two-way conversation, and she shared bits of herself.
Yeah, that's what you need. That makes me feel safe.
Okay,
that's hard. That makes me feel safe.
It's like she shared bits of herself, and the first time we had a conversation, our conversation ran way long, and her husband called her, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm in a session. I'll get back to you." She blew her husband off for me.
Damn, dude, what you doing?
And like,
mine charges me more.
It was the second version of ooh-ah.
That's
he played the playlist in the background. That's what he
like. And, there's some things that like I've helped her understand. Like she didn't understand what code switching was, and like having to explain to her what code switching was.
There's an episode of that for Blackish. And
I was just going to say that I actually, but I didn't know either. I had to.
It's so good.
Yes.
I just had to explain.
I love it.
I just had to explain code switching to my child. I was just like, "Yo,
this thing that you do that you don't realize that you're doing is a thing that you should know that you're doing.
It's a thing, and you need to be aware." I think she was having a conversation about she's in student council, and she was talking about another girl in student council, and she's realized that she's not one of she's not the only black person there, but she feels like she's the only black person there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, well, have you had any conversations with this other little girl away from everyone else.
Okay.
Where you
where
can
it feels different. Where it's different.
Really,
the dynamic can change.
Yeah, is she really about this, or is she just code switching and she just learned this earlier than you did?
It also depends on where people grew up too, like what kind of neighborhood she might have grown up in, and how. Like it's there's a lot to unpack there, and stuff that I cannot understand because I don't, But there's a gender component where women kind of play some of that game differently. You know what I mean? But I would never be able to understand it from a race point of view. Like I don't know, dude.
You would. It's not that hard, right? It's basically,
you're assimilating into
exactly.
It's chameleon.
Does Elaine put on does Elaine put on her engineering green hat today and go over everything in detail, or does Elaine is it mom time because Elaine doesn't have a lot of time? Let me hurry up and get this point out to these kids so we can keep it moving, so I can get this one over there and that one over here, and I can go do my stuff, right?
For women in fields like mine, it's like being one of the boys. It's acting like one of the boys.
Where
you fit in because you're one of the guys, and they accept. It's easier to get accepted in when you're one of the boys. Like, you know what I mean? It's that kind of same idea. You're just becoming a chameleon to fit, a role like that. Is more easily acceptable, right? And
so that is exactly what code switching is. That is 100% it. So I told you, I don't understand.
Well, see, like I don't have a basis. It's funny because I in my brain I'm like I have no basis to understand that, but I'm like no, actually I guess I do. And these are the kinds of conversations that if more people in our generation had younger, we would be able to talk about hard shit like race across cultural barriers easily. We just had a conversation about something I should not be able to understand. You let me paint it into a context that I can. That's part of getting to the middle here.
My boss is like, he's a cool guy. One thing, he is someone who wants to learn. So we have conversations sometimes where it's a situation to where it's like, I don't understand. Like, I've watched this on a TV show. I don't quite understand this. Like, before it became like a thing, like I explained to him what Juneteenth was. Like, he had no idea what Juneteenth was until I explained it to him. And now, of course, like, they made it a thing, but like, you still can't teach it in school. So like, what's the point of making it a thing?
I learned about it in college from a white ass drunk English professor. I'm gonna give him credit right now.
And then like, I've taught him things like code switching and stuff like that. But I also share my personal perspective on some of the issues that plague our area. Like, I'm from Richmond, Virginia. I live in Richmond, Virginia. I'm not from Richmond, Virginia. But like, a big thing here is these fucking statues.
Yep. Yeah.
That's a big thing.
And I'm just and like, they have these debates because I have one of my coworkers that is a Confederate supporter, and I'm like, yo, I don't really care about the statues. Like, I don't care about the statues at all. Like, what you are paying attention to is a very vocal minority of people who really care about these statues. Because guess what? I am not anywhere where these statues are.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
The property value of Monument Avenue in Richmond is a place where I feel uncomfortable.
Understood.
I don't feel safe in like, and it's not about the statues.
No,
it's because they don't feel safe because we there. That's basically it.
Yeah, and you're the one. Yeah,
I don't feel comfortable because they don't feel safe, and I'm not gonna do anything to anyone. So I don't feel right on Monument Avenue. Like, if I end up on Monument Avenue because I'm going someplace I don't normally go, I am nervous,
uncomfortable.
You know what I mean? So like at the end of the day, those statues mean absolutely nothing to me. I haven't even seen the Robert E. Lee statue that's downtown, the biggin, the one that they are trying.
The one they really want
for the South when you use biggin to
biggin, you know it's serious. It's South when you use biggin. I can see that spelled from the mind's eye.
Where biggin is a word, and the whole numbering system consists of 1, 2, and a shitload. But
wait, did they get that from
1, 2,
the
and a
South?
few.
And the Italian Americans are not different in that.
No, absolutely not. 1, 2, and a few.
A few. I like that it's a few. My dad would say a shitload.
Yeah.
or a fun if you want to get real big.
Exactly.
But and having to explain to him like, you know, like you feel much more strongly about these statues being, you know, liberal guy. You feel much more strongly about these statues than I ever will. I don't care about these statues.
I think it's a thing that they think they can fight. Like they think I think, and I'll speak to, you know, because I'm white. We think it's actionable and it matters. And the reality is, like, the conversation is much more nuanced. There's a lot more stuff that should be done and should be talked about, and it isn't about the statues. But that's something actionable. So that's like a checkbox that somebody can check. Like, we did this thing. No, you need to learn how to have conversation.
Did we change the system? No, but we got rid of
but we tore down this shit.
Yeah,
you know, and we're also not. We could learn how to have conversations about race better and teach our damn kids. That's too hard, though. Let's tear down a statue. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's actionable. It's almost performative. Like, it's performative.
Right. It is.
It's like the here's the thing. Here's the thing about white people.
Tell me, please. I love it when we deserve it.
Person that's something she doesn't.
This is white people care more about not being called racist than actually being racist.
Right. Or even like, we would rather, that's why I say it's performative. It's like, this is the way to show I am not racist.
Right.
Right.
That is not, we need to learn how to have fucking conversations with our damn kids and make the world, like the system better. No, but I'm not racist. I pulled down the statues.
But Mike and I have said it many times before that introspection is not something that we as America is really good at.
You're right.
We're not very good at that.
Humans are bad at this, dude. Human people.
Because you're right. You're right. It's not even just Americans. It's like anytime, you know, you want to evaluate the person in the mirror, like that becomes hard. And that's an obstacle. You know, that's a bridge too far. You know,
that's scary. It's because it's scary.
Yeah.
It's because we have to unpack all the ways that we fail at things. Because we do, because we're human. And it's scary. And like, no. Let's tear the statues down. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, it's like I said, it's performative, and it looks like we're doing something.
And it's the thing about it is it's safe.
Absolutely. And we can show we did it.
And it's easy because all we really have to do in order to get the statues down is throw some money at it.
Well, that's something that white people are very good at. You see, we are. I'm gonna make it's like 50% a joke and 50% true, right? And it's also something we can show pictures that we did. Like, it's like introspection we can't prove. So it's like, oh, we're not doing anything. But really, like, you are, because you're teaching a generation of people better than you by doing it. But I can't show that I did this. I can't show I'm not. We need receipts. I'm not racist because it's like saying, but I have a friend who's black. That shit. It's the same shit, and it's bullshit. Like, it's awful. You know what I mean? Like, when people do that in conversations, I'm like, oh, sweet Jesus.
Yeah,
we're gonna do this.
I've had that happen before, and I'm just like,
I'm sure you have. And I want to punch people when they do that. I can't be racist. I have a black friend. Oh, honey, sit down.
Yeah, but have you ever
ready.
had these conversations with your
Get
friend?
ready.
Like, does your friend know this side of you?
Yeah, does that? And have you had those conversations? Have you had hard conversations with that friend? Have you asked what code switching is? Have you asked what their life is like and how they wish it was different, or how they wish that people could talk about race in a more constructive way? Mm-hmm. Have you asked how their fucking mental health is today? You know, like, have you done any of that shit, or you just have a black friend to check the box?
Right. Right. No, you're right. You're right. Dang it, Elaine. I love having conversations with you.
I know. This makes me happy because, like, I feel like this is the way these conversations should go. This is this is constructive, and we're seeing it from each other's side as much as we can, and hopefully we're taking this to our kids and making them better people. Like, that's what's supposed to happen.
I think it's how they I think what really happens is have you ever read the book or listened to the audiobook for the 5 Love Languages?
I have not.
I actually have the book in the back.
I own the book. Yeah.
Yeah.
The audiobook is hilarious because he reads it himself and he's country as fuck.
Oh no.
That's funny.
I'm gonna go use an Audible credit right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's from like North Carolina or something like that, but he's country. But like how the if your love language is not being met, you basically broadcast your love language to everyone else.
Interesting.
Yes, that's true. You're proud about it.
How if you you start doing the things that you wish someone was doing for you.
That totally happens. True. That happens in friendships, relationships. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we need to, as a society, we need to start picking up on those things.
Yeah, we're bad at social cues.
Yeah, we are very bad at those cues, because like if someone is in a situation to where they felt like their need for understanding or something like that is not being met. Basically, they're just trying. They basically try to force you to understand the situation, and it comes off as confrontational. But really, they're basically crying at you like, "Please listen.
Listen to me. Engage.
This is what I need from you, and I need you to do this back. I need this to come back to me."
This is why people whose love language is like physical touch or huggy people. We're trying to tell you what we need. Exactly. You know what I mean?
But when you
100%.
But when you read the book or listen to the audio book, you realize that most guys think that there's this physical touch, and then it ends because sex is included in that. Right. But it turns out to be something else. Like
everybody's is going to be a different combination.
Mine's a words of appreciation, man. Like
straight up. Damn, I like that. I like that you're like, I am a man, and I know I want you to say like. I want you
to say, you know what? Thank you for doing that for me.
You
didn't have to do that.
And I'm a woman who will say it's physical touch.
Mine is quality time.
I like that.
Like spending
every time you say that, the song is in my head. I don't know if you know that, Elaine, but we'll have to send you a clip of the track.
Oh Lord.
Okay. But yeah, mine is quality time.
That's
like I get more out of spending time with you than I do anything else. Even with the physical touch, like it's the spending time doing something, having a conversation, just being in each other's presence.
Let me tell you, I did not expect this conversation with 3 grown-ass men today, and I'm just so delightfully surprised and happy right now.
I mean, two grown-ass men.
That's one thing you ain't gonna get on PSVG. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying.
Shit talk my show. I will fight you, Blue.
I love your show.
Blue,
I love your show.
I'm much more feral than you, bro. I know you're out there in these streets, but I'm like
I'm out there in these streets. I know I'm not even trying to make you mad. I love the show too.
You do not want to see me angry, my dude.
I don't even want to see you. Not unless you bringing me my favorite Italian dish, because
I'm gonna come hug you. That's what I'm gonna do. I've always wanted to hug you. You look like a very huggable dude.
I'm a pretty huggable guy. Although Scar says I am unexpectedly short, but it is what it is.
I mean, you're tall. I'm only 5'5". You got to be taller than me.
Right? I'm a little bit. I'm only 5'8.25".
Oh, that's all. That's all. The only.
He is not
5'8". That's why
I like that you had to say a quarter.
I'm 5'8.25".
6.5 maybe.
Oh,
5'8.25".
He is not no 5'8".
I won't wear heels, Blue. I won't wear heels around you.
It don't matter. It don't matter. You wear heels. I wear boots. We're leaving it out of the way.
How tall are you, Chase? Are you about the same size?
5'8".
How tall are you?
5'8". All right. Well, what about you?
Are you really
How tall are you?
5'8"?
Yeah.
Like I'm 6 feet with shoes on.
You're a big teddy bear with shoes on. You're 5'10".
I'm 5. I'm like 5'11" and a little bit.
I don't believe you. Men always round up.
I'm 5'11" and a little bit. That's what I always say. I'm 6 feet with shoes on.
6 feet with shoes on.
Yep.
But,
well, gentlemen, unfortunately, I have to take myself to bed soon, so we unfortunately have to wrap this thing up. We're all old.
Forget you East Coast time.
This August we've been having some long ass episodes, and I know Chase loves this shit, and I'm just kind of like, I didn't want to be here for 3 hours.
But you enjoyed. You were so engaged. Come on now, you didn't complain to me once.
I enjoy it while I'm here,
just like all other social situations.
But as soon as this is over,
you're gonna go hide under your bed. Not talk to anybody for a week.
Well, first of all, I got to go get my fat ass some food, and I got a pint of Millennium Crunch downstairs. So like,
I'm about to go hit the Ben and Jerry's that's in my freezer. I'm not even gonna play, and then I'm gonna go to bed.
I got some Millennium that's waiting on you, boy. So
what you guys been playing?
We are way too late.
It's late. We had better conversations. This was the best nerd podcast I've had, quote unquote, in forever. You guys look, every year I get to do this show. It's one of my highlights of the entire year. Thank you guys for having me.
We appreciate you. I like the randomness of our show. Like this, it's because like whenever we're all here, it's always so random, but it's always so engaging. Yep. And like, do you know, it's been almost 3 hours, but it hasn't felt like it.
Nah, it's like the friends you only get to see the day before Thanksgiving. They came home from college. You're all in one place, and you shoot the shit, but then you end up like someone ends up crying about something that's going wrong in their life. It's like that.
Right.
This is like that. And every year that it happens, I'm like, oh, the show's going to be so long. I'm tired. And then I get here and I'm just like, oh, but I love them so much. So
and we love you. Yes. I can't say the same thing about Blue and Chase.
Oh, yeah.
Listen.
I'm very lovable.
Here's the thing, Elaine. I love being on the show with you, but you have like so much draw. I'm like, why do y'all put me on the show with Elaine, man? It's like we do, but I'm like Elaine needs a spotlight all her own.
No, she doesn't.
She needs a spotlight all her own. But yeah, so no, but I love it. I love it. Real talk though, I do love the show. I do love what you and Donnie have been doing, man. Y'all have just been killing it. And I told you, the night you put it out there that, hey, I'm gonna be doing this podcast, I was one of the first people like, look, that's gonna be fire.
You have supported me through a lot of years, my dude, and I know that you will keep doing it. But every time that this show comes up, I get so excited because I like being on a show with you, and I never get to do it. So just thanks for being rad, man, and thank you guys for letting us shoot the shit.
You finally found your castle?
Yes, it's mine now. You wouldn't like me if I'm angry. Just remember that, though.
Right, we remember that. We remember that. But no, thanks, Elaine, man. Really, 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 really appreciate it. Keep being rad. Keep being the one person I know who rides a motorcycle.
Saying all of the things that I'm supposed to be saying right
ever. Like, your room is ridiculous. Like, you have this whole podcasting spot with like every console. It's nuts, man.
Blue is saying all of the things I'm supposed to be saying.
He's still in that. He's still in your spotlight, Scar.
Because I actually listen to her show like every week. So I mean,
you have it. Like that's like you can have this. You can have this part of the show. I'm not saying you can have the show. I'm saying you can have this part of the show. You know what? You want to close the show? You do the close the show.
I can't do the close of the show. I don't have it memorized, man. You know I'm out of practice. I'm out of practice, B.
Okay.
You saw what happened when you let Chase earlier. You see what happened when you let Chase open the show. He cussed out the audience when he opened the show.
Yeah, you got to close it, man.
Yeah, you got to close it, B.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I always enjoy this show, and I appreciate both of you. Blue,
So you ain't even got to say nothing.
That part is what it is. I always enjoy having you around, Elaine.
Thank you.
Great. It's always great, and like having something different because we don't have very many white women around. You know what I mean?
That's fair. Yeah.
And like that's you sometimes you do need that other perspective of like a situation, and like you being a mom, and you being smarter than some of the rest of us, Chase.
She's an engineer. She's smarter than most. She's smarter than most of us. Be like, let's call it what it is.
But I mean, I'm not going to admit the obvious that she's smarter than me. But
why would you? Don't do that. Never do that.
Why the fuck would I do that? I'm just gonna say Chase. Me too. But Chase knows I love him. Like Chase knows I love him. The day he got COVID, and I found out that he got COVID pretty bad, I cried like a motherfucker. So he knows that I would actually cry if something happened to Chase. That wasn't my doing. Of course. Did I say that out loud? I did.
Yeah, you did. You're supposed to be closing the show, not threatening him.
So find all of the I'm not going to go through all the details, but thank y'all for listening to the show. We appreciate y'all. August continues, and we'll be back next week. That's the last official one, right?
Yeah, that's with Ron Block and Max.
Ron Block and Max. Oh, okay. So that Ron Block and Max will be on next week, and we'll be back in your ear holes. I will put links to both Blue and Elaine and anything that they need me to put into the episode description, and we're gonna try to make sure that we put that into the description when this video gets uploaded to YouTube. Also, we're gonna try. I'm not saying I'm going to succeed, but I'm definitely going to try.
Oh, good.
We'll be back next week in your ear holes. Like, we love it in there. And Peace out to the Warriors, y'all.
Peace out, y'all.
Later.
All right.
I gotta jump off, but thank you again, guys. This was a blast.
Thanks, Elaine.
I appreciate
Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Bye.